はい、こんばんは。声入ってますか？反応いただけると嬉しいです。はい、ありがとうございます。では、ここから司会進行交代いたします。UFO です。よろしくお願いいたします。はい、では次ですね。ワンピース海賊無双4の、カテゴリーが、ニューゲームプラス、NG プラスファストダイアログモッドとなっております。解説の方来たのかな？ちょっとこれから準備になると思いますので、少々お待ちください。はーい。えーと、ゲームについて説明入れた方がいいかな。待つ。えー、はい。ワンピース海賊無双4。これ2年ぐらい前でしたっけ、出たのね。まあ、その名の通り、時々ね、最近、光栄さんやら、ワンダムさんやらが組んで出してる無双シリーズの、コラボものですね。それのワンピースの海賊のその、4弾となります。そうですね、2022年、2020年3月に発売になってます。こちらの作品ですね。なんだっけ、2年ぐらい前なんで、一応ワノ国編まで収録されてるゲームになります。はい。NG プラスはおそらく、あれですね。一回クリアした状態、まあ、キャラクターが成長した状態で進んでいくってことですね。能力は引き継いでプレイができますので、NG だと、データは作った段階からってことですが、多分今回使用するキャラ全員育成した状態で始めるのかなと思います。かなり差が出るので、まあ、それでも3時間、2時間以上かかるってなると、そうっす、まあ、そんぐらいかかるか。うん。ストーリーとしましては、ワンピースのストーリー長いんで、前編の収録はされてないんですが、なんだっけ。どこ入ってるんだ？アラバスタ編、エニエスロビー編、頂上戦争編、新世界突入編、ホールケーキアイランド編。で、まあ、完結はしてないんですが、ワノ国編、ゲームオリジナルの展開でワノ国編だけ収録されています。はい。ファストダイアログモードはそうですね。会話スキップかな。何かしら、モッドで、まあ、加速要素があるっていうことですかね。はい。確かね、3までのゲームはもうちょっとストーリー細かく入ってたりするんですが、結構、4に関しては、かなりざっとまとめられたストーリーになってるのかな。アラバスタ編から一気にエネイスロビーまで飛んで、次も頂上戦争まで飛ぶので、前半、物語の前半、60巻までの部分が結構ダイジェストな感じがしますね。いや、新世界突入編っていうところに、ドレスローザが含まれてますので、ドレスローザはあります。はい。まあ、そのストーリーモードを多分最後まで一通りやってくれると思うので、見ていただけたらいいかなと。キャラクター何人使えるんだったかな？ 50 人くらいいたかな。プレイヤブルキャラクターと敵だけで出てくるキャラクターと結構いて、使えないキャラクターでも意外と敵ではちゃんとモデリングされてたりとか、DLC もね、10人ぐらい足されるんだったかな。そうですね。そんなのがあったりして。ああ、はい。 あ、今ゲームパスに入ってるんですか。へえ。そうですね、ローとかね、結構面白いですね。ルームを展開して、その中の敵を切っただけで吹っ飛んでいくみたいなね。キャラクターによっちゃなかなか面白い能力を持ってるので、それがよく再現されてるゲームですので。キャラクターが何人かな ?40、10人ぐらい使えるのかな。43人、DLC 含まず43人、DLC 込みで52人使えますね。はい。
Alright, everybody.
お、
So,
来た。
this is
あ、画面来ましたね。
Pirate Warriors 4. It's a Koei game. We checked difficulty prior to the run. This will be on easy mode, and it's using a modification of the game that I created called Fast Dialog Mod. A lot of the Koei games have
はい、アラバスタ編か
a
ら
little bit of
NG プラスということなので、先ほど言った通り、育成型おそらく一通り終わった状態のデータを使用するのかなと思い
going
ま
as
す。
fast as possible in terms of waiting for events to finish as
ストーリーごとに、
my
多分アラバスタ編って書いてても、その中で何ステージかに分かれていて、かつ、そのステージごとに使えるキャラクターも決まっているので、3人とか4人の中から選ぶとかそんな感じなんですけど、確か。まあ、使えるキャラクターを使っていくってところか。おそらく全キャラクターしっかり揃ってるようなデータがあるんかなと思いますので。
Probably. So we can start time on when I select this. I'll count down to it. It'll be 3, 2, 1, go.
はい。グッドラックです。キャラクター選択の。あ、いや、これフリーモードかないかなかな。
Because there's Toshigi in the stage. Twice, in fact.
全キャラ選択にあったな。
Talk about Sanji and go over this stage with Sanji anyway. So, Sanji in this game is pretty cool. He has
アラバッサ編を3時で。
skip and post time skip Sanji. And overall, pre-time skip I find to be a lot more consistent. He's a speed type instead of a sky type. And
3時はジャンプしてから空中戦が結構できるキャラなので、攻撃範囲も広いですし、この辺は優秀ですね。
And power, generally speed characters are excellent. They got a lot of stamina to do everything they want to do. Get around the stage fast.
はいですね。まあ、全キャラね、こんなダッシュみたいな動きが確かできるはずなんですけど。
Yeah, so Sanji has
エースが出てきましたね。
adversity to women. He doesn't like hitting them.
血がい
In
て、
this stage, there's two fights against Toshigi, which
こ
will
こは
certainly lose us time. But I find that it's, you know, I
中
need
に
to
いるのは
challenge.
モブ
It's
の、
interesting to show
これ
him
海兵かな今。
and I thought this would be the best mission to do it.
右上にミッションが出てるので、これを達成していけば、イベントが進んでいきます。
What kind of order, what we're doing stage objective wise?
今なんていうのかな、ディフィートマリーンズあるんですけど。
So now here we've got Marines up and down these pathways as our crew heads to the escape point. The first trigger is going to be at the south here.
海兵を倒して味方を支援しろって書いてるかな。
And then we got to go south and help Usa. After we take out Usa, then we're going to head center. I believe that Tashigi's
まあおそらく関数パラメータのキャラクターを使ってるので、早いですね。この辺はまだ難易度もそんなに高くないの。ゲームシステム自体はよくある無双って感じで、コマンド、技は確かスロット式になってて、なんだったかな、4つ設定できるんだったかなと思いますけど。
Now this is a full force burst. You see Nighlins activating. Every character they'll have a little flame burning in the top, in the bottom left of their character screen. The color corresponds to that type we talked about
はい。
before.
そうですね。この右に出てるスロット、多分拳のマークのやつが攻撃技で、そのなんか、腕を上げてるようなマークのやつが強化技になるんかな、確か。だったと思うんですが。
Even though Sanji's not allowed to hit women, apparently his super moves let him bypass that.
そうですね。
He just is attacking an area, and Tashigi just so happens to be in it, so we get a nice exception.
まあ、今、右下に倒した敵の数が出てますが、800とかで、まあ、結構こんな感じでスムーズに敵が湧いてどんどん倒していって、そこそこの難易度のステージでも3000人とか倒しちゃったりするようなゲームなので。
I'm gonna build a little extra meter here because I need the supers for when I run
そうですね。敵は本当に
Tashigi later on as well.
ガンガン湧くので。
There you go, entering full force burst again. As we touch this, we'll trigger the final fight of this stage. It's always good to position Smoker towards Tashigi so that you can hit them both at once. That was pretty well done by Nighlin. There we go. Took them both out in one super.
Yeah. So yeah, Sanji is a pretty cool character. He's great in pre-time skip. He has a lot of moves. Speed types have a longer ground string and kind of a worse air string in a lot of cases.
言ってるところで終わって、海さん方いらっしゃったので紹介しますね。なおさんです。よろしくお願いします。
On this stage,
よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
はい。
終わっちゃいましたけど、
まあ、
ここからお願いします。
まあ、解説って言ってもただの
Stages get
それ
harder.
なんで、
はい。
さ普通にやっただけですし、そういう風にしただけなんで。
あ、2ステージ目バギー操作してますね。
お願いします。
これ NG プラスってキャラクター誰使ってもいいんですかね。
多分、フリーモード的なやつだったと思うんですけど、やっぱり
です。よね。1周目やるときは確かキャラ限られてましたよね。
はい。何人かに決まってたはずなんで。
なんか3人とか4人とかいる中から、
はい。
登場するキャラクターから選ぶって感じでしたよね。
はい。
バギーちゃんと使ったことがないような気がするな。
そうです
だから
ね。僕もないんですね。ないんですよね。そこまでやり込んでるって感じでもないし。
この一通りやって、入りトロコンしないぐらいだった気がするので、そんなに。
yeah, there might be an oversight with Buggy.
まあ、バギー強そうに見えますけど、多分どのキャラクターも一定以上の強さがあるので、このゲーム。
そうですね。
But he doesn't perceive that.
こうやってれば大体みんな強くなりますし。
これは、あれか。ギャラの一味がクロコダイルの罠にはめられて捕まってるところですね。
はい。
サンジが助けに来るところですね。
パンチが助けに来るところですね。あ、終わった。
はい、終わった。1分26
ここで
秒。
ミスタープリンスって直ってるんですよね、3時ね。
そうですね。ミスタープリンスですね。
これも伏線取ったんですかね。
Buggy's
あ
mostly
あとのこと考えると。
ビーム打つキャラ。
今、割と敵の方が、
Buggy is a
そ
cool
うですね。
character.
キザルとかが後で打ってくれるんじゃない
キザルとか
ハンコック
パシフィスタとかいますし。
can kind of kick move.
この辺りが。
And so we use that a lot. Here I'm going to use Kid. He's one of the
Kid ですね。
kind of buggy, super powerful, like by a glitch kind of characters.
Yes.
結構これタイマンステージありますよね。このゲームは。
ああ、そうでしたっけ。
何回か原作もラスボスをタイマンするところとか、
これは1
ルフィとか
回目
が、
クロコダイル1回目のとこだから、
はい
原作だと負けるとこですよね。
はい。
Full stage might be fast clearing movement. Note these are the guys who are particularly great at just
バギーがボスキラー。
Crocodile can control you a little bit here sometimes. You know, he'll float up in the air. You might miss here or there.
ルフィ界で行くとルフィがいるんだ味方に。
Taking out bosses quick. It's like 20. 24, no, 29. Still good.
Yeah, he backdashed me twice. He has an invincible backdash. It's mostly triggered by whatever Luffy in the background is doing. Unfortunately. So, if Luffy decides to
キッ
pinwheel
ドはね、
there,
今、
a lot of
原
times
作、本誌の方の連載
decide
で
to
ね、
backdash,
ワノ国
and
編、
we just lose damage.
いい
that way.
活躍してますね。
A lot of damage in that case. I also got moved into the air, and Kid's air combo is very bad. This stage has a lot of big expanses, so Whitebeard just saves so much time here that
お、白ひげです
ルフ。ィが
tuck in our our father.
アラバスタに白ひげ現れたら大事件ですね。
まあ大事件ですね。
Fast, gigantic hitbox.
いやいやいやいや。
もう、判断どころじゃないです。
そう
Maybe
あ、
on
この辺りのキャラクター本当にでかいので、
とでかいですよね。ワン
スケール
ピース世界
が違いすぎる。
結構でかい人多いっすよね。
そう。平気でなんか何メーターとかってキャラクター出てくる。
3、4メーターとか普通の人間のはずなんでありますよね。
as the Marines spawn, we gotta take out two ships.
ガンダム無双で巨大ロボットを使ってる時みたいな。
そんな感じですよね。
Absolutely gigantic range, ridiculous damage. And now you see just how fast.
まあ、それこそ終盤のワノ国編とかこんな敵ばっかりなんで、
まあ、アムとカイドウがね。
ね、マム、カイドウ、ドレイクとかもでかいから、
ブレイクもいるか。
ね
Two spawn, with Mr. 1 being in the northwest and Mr. 2 being in the center south.
ああ、さっきからミスター3とか、今ボンクレイも出てきましたけど、確かプレイアブルじゃないんですよね。
はい。
ね、この辺りは敵だけで出てくるキャラクターが
でまあまあ
ちらほらいて、、
一応ちゃんと作られてて。
はい。
Annihilated.
作られてるのか、まあ前作からのデータ使ってるのか、まあ、
ちゃんと用意
かなって
されてるんですよね
思いますけど。
でもちゃんと出てくるんですよね、一応。
はい。
Nice.
だからなんか全部クリアした後に、あれなんか戦ったはずなんだけどこいつ使えないなみたいなのがいっぱいいて、
結構います。
ちょっと寂しかった記憶ありますね。
Pretty sure
もうこれでも結構前よりは一応増えてる
うん。
so you
キャラは。
icons for them.
多分増えてる範囲が、前作以降で、前作以前でいなかったキャラだから、リストラ組はいっぱいいるんですよね
As。much as you can, because if we do them, that'll add
そうですね。
add dialogue and time, you know, just something that we can skip over. Especially if you're playing without the fast dialogue,
手堅くの
you'll lose a lot of time to them just talking about accomplishing the goal. They're just taking a nice sweep here from Mr. 1 in the
そう
top,
だね。
along the west, and then to the
ク
south.
レイいなかった気がするけど、
文句でも。
Then after
まあ、
we
インテルタウンとかないからな。
頂上戦争
頂上戦争はあるんですけど、
そうか、インペルダウンですね。
インテルタウン
かかっ
は
ちゃうから前に。
叩いてない、ムービーだけで済ませちゃうんで。
そうですね。確かに活躍の機会がないといえばないですね。
That's cursed. Yeah, so Whitebeard's a very, very quick character. He can be kind of unwieldy to control in a couple of these positions. So try my best, but it can get kind of awry. Kind of a backup
いや、早い早い。
additional route for that stage. So Whitebeard
これで砲撃が止まったのかな。
he's a giant. So in a couple cases you could do that vacuuming move like I did at the end there and dash and it will kill them from colliding with each other because they're all bunched up.
ね、これ
そう
撃破数1392人でランク C ってるのなかなか厳しいですよね、このゲーム。相当な人数倒さないと S とか出ない。
両方 S ないと出ないんですから、なかった
ね
らね。
確か、総合の S はそう両方 S じゃないと出なくて、かつ、撃破数の方が、どんぐらいだっけな、3000人とか平気で要求されるから、結構手間なんですよね。
is a little too random.
ホールケーキアイランド編で出てくるキャラですね。
I opted to instead use this character. So this can get kind of awry. We'll find out if it does. It looks good right now. Alright, cool. And we let him on the ground. Here he
空中戦が得意なキャラですよね。
it's gonna dim the screen. It's the one bug of the fast dialogue mod that it couldn't quite patch.
アルバスタ編はこの戦闘で最後かな。
Right here I'm going to like wait
だったかな。
for a second. Pop this and this and then try to see if he triggers the cutscene. It looks like he should have.
あ
あ、そうなんですか。ネットでキャラ
な
変
んかあったのは知
ルールが
ったんですけど、何だったか分かんなかったんだよ。
確認
どれ
してみよう。
くらいだったんだ。
So this move is bugged.
まあ、
It was a oversight the developers left in.
まあ、動画で予習した時は大体片栗で暴れてましたからね。
あ、そうなんだ。
Yonji's the only one
Katakuriが多かっ
bugged despite there being like 4 characters with that drilling move.
Yep, Yonji has two brothers whose movesets are
片栗が一番早いのかな、大体。
and they have the same numbers, and his number is the same, but one decimal place moved over. So Island's rightly guesses that they probably didn't mean to put that where it did, but we're gonna take advantage of it
で、
as fast
Yeah.
as we can.
instead of the move supposed to do like 0.3 times multiplier, it instead of
次は NS 伸びですね。
forgot to remove the one.
はい。
So
結構ストーリー飛びますね。こう考えるとね。空島が飛んで、
空島が飛ん
we'll
で、
be using Okiku. Okiku is a
どう
fantastic character in this game.
デ
Also
イビー
has
バ
a
ック
bug
ファイトが飛んで、
or
まあ、
a
イニスロビーまで行っちゃってる
choice.
から、あれですね。
Not
ウォーター
entirely
セブン
sure
の
which
話も全部飛ん
確
でる。
かに
where
あ、でも
Okiku
これはウォーターセ
has
ブンか。
ウォーターセブンもあり
full damage number
合わせて NS ロビーなんで、
moves with ice on them.
飛んで、
Like this one, where it's using the special move
ワノ国以前は DLC だったかな。
cooldown moves have,
そうですね。DLC
DLC だっ
で
た。と思う。はい。
which is quite
え
quite
ー
odd.
と
So it
Yeah,
gains an
DLC の3つ目のやつに確か、
It shouldn't have had otherwise.
yeah. So
金エモン
1.2
と
times power.
これだっけ。お菊とおでんが入ってます
on a
ね。
lot of their moves. Okiku has
金エモンとかはストーリーでは何回か出てくるんですけど、使おうと思うと DLC ですね。
that you can just repeat a lot, and so
Yeah.
Okiku
Doing her
becomes
charge one
fantastic.
slash is so much fun. In
まあ、
this
新世界の割と最近出てきたキャラクターが9人 DLC で追加されて
It
ます
also
ね。
smashes.
僕も
As you
多
see, you
分
collide with the wall
やっ
made the
て
damage
結構
save.
これ出るまでに何ヶ月かかったから買ってはないんですけど、
There are a couple time saves in this stage that are like really weird. Like you can walk on top of with Okiku. Sorry, you can dash on these staircases or on,
で、身長287センチ。
if you do that, the game will
こんなあ
accidentally
ったんだ。
times movement speed going into your dash, and your dash will go twice as far.
ほんとみんなでかいな。ワンピース。
I'm gonna lose a lot of time at the end here because I won't have full force burst for this final fight here, but it was an expected loss of time, so
ああ、これでウソップとルフィがゲットするとこです。
はい。
I'll instead go for a couple super moves.
メリーゴーの処遇で揉めて変化するとこです
For
ね。
anyone familiar with the series, you might be wondering why we started in Alabasta and now we're in Water 7. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 had the strange decision that it only chose to cover 6 arcs total. So we'll be doing the arcs specifically of Alabasta, Water 7 / NS Lobby, Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island, and then a fake
あ
one.
そこ、その先はウソップさウソップなんですよね、あそこね。
はい。
Getting
ルフィで
I think
ウ
they
ソップで倒すんですよ。
5 chapters of Wano. So they did the same thing with Pirate
多分ウ
Warriors
ソッ
3
プでやらないとボス戦やるだけになっちゃうんじゃないかな。どうなの。
ああ、
for it. So
あ
those
そうですね。
なんかそんな構成になってしまう気がするから、やむなしかなと。
Here we'll be using Mihawk.
と
He's
ミホーク。
a really powerful power type character with generally problems mostly relying on
世界最強の剣士ですね。
his stamina expense is extremely high for a character, probably among the highest in the game. I don't know a character that's quite as bad.
これはアイスバーグの屋敷に潜入するところですかね。
great though compared to
そうですね。
夜ですもん
we're
ね
gonna。take out some
行ったら CP9 がいるよってやつかな。
Frankie is gonna do a sabotage later. We're gonna ignore that whole mechanic and we're gonna head right to the end of this stage. You'll see in the top right, there's a bunch of officers hiding. Here's the sabotage.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the developers were intending here, but you can beat him up, but it's not required, and it is a submission. But then there's this crane mission that appears right after, right over here. And this is also not at all required. It doesn't have a submission or a main quest. And the game tells you as if it does, and then never puts it on the top right. So it ends up not being functional in the game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it does have an effect if you knock out all the cranes. You don't need to take out the guards in front of them. Because they all go to investigate.
やっぱそう、すげえな。
But it is
早い早
way
い。
faster to just walk through.
攻撃範囲がめちゃくちゃなんです。
すげえな。
斬撃がなんかあんだけの方向にあんだけの距離飛んでくるのはさすがに。
But here we are, just cleaning them up with some Nihon combos.
今ちょっと喋ってる間に500人ぐらい死んでるんで。
System where it moves
ここは敵集まってるとこありますけど。
moves by doing the full square string. In the air, they decided that it would just instantaneously be
ああ、飛ぶん。
so
ブルー
he
のです
doesn't
ね
end。up needing to really worry about it.
Yeah, once we're inside, we fight Luno here.
酒場の主人かと思いきや、
Particularly weak for some reason.
正体は政府の諜報
He
員
has like no help.
Yeah.
Finishing off with a special style.
Yep. But yeah, Mihawk's major
なんか
points are
ガッツは
jumping
ま
in
あ
the air with Mihawk is very good. So, like,
世界線が世界観が違うから
and then he just has really strong air.
以外にもいろいろ思いも持ってるし
Like the projectile move I was using have like a shotgunning property that do a lot of damage if you're up close. And yeah, so he's pretty cool. Unfortunately, his ground combat is a little too slow in this game.
最悪の世代
Probably
一
increased
人です
about
ね。ワノ国編で
5% on the base movement or attack
結
speed.
構出番がありまし
出
たが、
てくる人
はい
敵の部下なんですよね
So
はい
here we're gonna use Hawkins. So Hawkins isn't necessarily like a known boss
能力は他人を残機する能力だ
in this game.
わらわらの実
わらわらの実
He can be used
なかなか
as such because
なかなかえげつ
わ
ない
からがすごいそうね
能力ですね。
Bosses, then boss
わらわらなんだよね
that we have.
名前が
He's got a few of his L2 move or like right trigger R2 moves that are really strong. Put him in the corner. His basic square combo does a lot of damage.
わ
Basically,
らわらわらって
わら人形を使って
わら人形
対象
の
を呪いにかけて、まあ、そのわら人形にダメージを与えることでっていう、
ダメージを押し付けて
はい、押し付けるっていうなかなかひどい。
especially for a non-boss killer character.
そのわら人形を身代わりにして他の人にダメージを与えていくとかね、なんかそういうことをする能力者ですね。
And in that stage, he has, he can get barrels, which is the worst. I got that twice. He can get ice, which is the best.
ナイス感だよ
Meteor, which is second best,
Yeah,
and lightning, which
meteors
is the third.
Meteors are so good.
Yeah, meteors do a lot of
Kaido.
damage.
Kaido
Ice
だ
is useful because freezing people. Freezing
カイドウ
people
も
is
多分
extremely
白ひげよりでかいんかな。
So,
でかいですよね。
we're gonna use Kaido for the stage. I needed somebody who's like kind of big enough
サイズがもう
as possible and
これだもんな
slash big enough to hit the switches faster. You'll see upcoming. KCM will call them out when they're happening. But he just has a lot of benefits. Killing that first guy as fast as possible is a time save, and then
いやー、攻撃範囲おかしいって。
最高感だよほんとそう
yes.
Clearing the way for
あ
カメラがめちゃくちゃ引きになってるんよな。
Being that he's a giant, he can get to this door and smash through it with basically just like a dash. I don't know what's going on.
ちょっとノイズ調整するんでちょっとの
はい、
戻りますね
します。繋いでおきます。
Alright, so now the gates get put off and we gotta hit these buttons
い
here.
や
So we're gonna run up to the side and hit one, and then we're gonna
ー、キャラごとにね、この大きさがまちまちすぎて、別ゲーになるのすごいですよね、これね。
We do that, we're a giant man. We don't have to.
So that's a bug that this character has. Kaido's launcher attack was like I guess it must have been very glitchy when they were
能力は使えるんだったかな、どうだったかな。
probably shouldn't have.
変身系の能力を
Is that it, like,
技として持ってるキャラクターもいるので、カイドウも多分その部類
it
か
gains
な。
like an abnormal
敵で出てくるときはね、ロギアの形態あるんですけど、
go about this high, but for some reason
獣型の形態があるんですけども、
You lost. Alright, so here there's no way to speed this one up. You just gotta wait it out.
まあ、
Instead, he's done a lot of testing.
まあ、クリアしないと出ないキャラなので、カイドウに関しては。
When the top right comes out, and it stops if any of these officers make it to him.
まあ、クリア後のお楽しみではありますよ。
the rooftop is right there.
ストーリー普通にプレイするのには
Maybe you could go through the
使用
wall
できないキャラ
somehow,
ですから。
clip, etc. Maybe climb to the roof somehow. The game has a height cap, and it will very clearly prevent you from getting anywhere close to high enough. And even if you did, the game won't load the boss. So to kind of show this off, I can show you see that the game's shoving me downward.
And we got an officer coming in. Don't want him to stop our time. Just say nope, no
い
high.
やー、内漏らしなく敵がいなくなるのいいですね。
But yeah, you can't quite get too high up in this. It'll shove you downward. So this doorway doesn't have any like way of doing it. You can see it shoving me down, pushing me away. etc.
待って、
It would have been kind of
門
cool.
を守るミッションだから、あと40秒ぐらいで
In fact,
終わるみたいですけ
it
ど
was、
全
probably,
然これは負ける気配がないですよ
8
ね。
minutes probably, maybe 2 and a
yeah.
half.
It would definitely save us 2 to 3 minutes depending on how fast.
もう
it's
自
set
分
up.
で門破壊した方が早そうな気がしますけど。
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. But
Definitely
instead
one of
we.
the weaker parts of this run.
Mhm. Kaido's a cool character. You see me spamming the same attack. This Earth Shatter move is exceptionally powerful compared to some of his other moves like the Stomp, which takes a little too long. And his dashing move, this one, is relatively good. So
His
I would
basic
use.
combo feels real good to do too.
Yeah.
通過したら
Rooftop.
死体が転がっていくっていうね。
And we're gonna fight blue now. This area of the fight can be very annoying. There's a lot of unevenness. I don't think I've
ブルー
gone
ノですね。
without accidentally shifting from one elevation to the other and missing an attack.
ここはあれですね。ルフィが初めてギアセカンドを披露する場面ですね。
It's good. You transition without issue.
ブルーノがさっきなんか空中から出てきたのは、なんだっけ、ドアドアの実の能力者で、
And nice.
ドアを空間に作って移動できる能
Yeah,
力を持って
Kaido's
るんで
quite
したっ
good.
け？
He's if they give him a little bit more lag reduction and put him in another game, it'll be fantastic. Unfortunately,
早いですね。
5 is 5.
exactly.
まあ、次元式のミッションがあったので、時間がかかりましたけど、
Asked them on Twitter
戦闘は一瞬でしたね。
until they release the game. I'm just kidding, because it would have already been in
キャベンディッシュ、
coming.
ドレスローザ戦で出てくる、まあ、味方寄りのキャラですね。
For sure, but the development would be
Seemed like
started.
they waited until Whole Cake finished and then they started making Power Wars 4.
Exactly.
All right, so on this next stage, we're inside
ルフィたち最悪の世代
inside the judges area in
の
Ed's
活躍を妬ん
Stage
で、
is huge. It's very easy if you're like going through a casual
なんだろ
run
う、
to
すっ
not
ごい目立ちたがり屋で、
on here.
その活躍を妬んでるキャラですね、確かに。
There's some individuals in front of here. I think you can time a good full force burst right now. Yeah, good time in there. Luffy starts talking, and then the cutscene starts, so you get to cut off your full force burst
こ
timing.
れがエネスロビ編4つ目だっけ？
We're gonna fight Kaku and Chopra upstairs. Once again, this place is a maze.
確か核がいる部屋とか、
If you get lost, don't feel bad. I got lost the first time IL speedrun this level.
Eh.
Got lost and went the wrong way.
もう一人能力者あれ誰だっけな。
Alright, you can see the green aura. That's because we've got Cavendish as a speed character. Once again, incredibly fast, great
そうですね、
stamina.
先ほども言った通り、変身能力を持ってるキャラもいるので、使うと、まあこれは、そう、この裏の顔の白馬っていうやつになって、能力が変わるね、技を使用してます。
はい、戻りました。
はい、おかえりなさい。エニスロビー編、次の戦闘に入ってますね。
はい。
Now we can jump down the stairs if you go at that right corner. There's that one corner that lets you jump all the way down. If not, you're gonna have to run all the way across. Alright, so we're gonna head down. Let's take out a few guys in our
白
way.
馬が溶けて、キャベンディッシュ戻りましたね。
Head to the bridge of hesitation. This is a long trip. It's not too long, but the fact that we have a speed character here means it's not going to be nearly as bad. So you see Nighlin a lot doing air dashes. Air dashing generally, like you
う
get
ん
to keep
空中飛んだ方が早いのはなんか
大体ダッシュがベンダ
な。
が
ダッシュ
一番いい
がね、強い
ですからね
で。すからね。
It's going to take longer for you to regain your stamina, though. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. And if you're too close to an enemy, the air dash will drag them with you, which will slow down your air dash as well. So you want a clean air dash, not interacting
お
with anyone.
ルッチですね。
Stairs can be a little weird here. I think in testing, we had said that jumping at certain times, dashing at
ル
certain
フィが
times
ギアセカンド使うところかな。
will be better on stairs than just jump dashing.
こ
So
こは、
now we're coming up to Lucci here.
いや、ここはもうサードを使い始めるところじゃないですか。
そうか
セカンドはブルーノで、
ゲームだとここら辺で一番
You turn into Hakuba.
ギアセカンドが出てくるな。
He's pretty good.
気がせなんと覚えてる時あるんですけど、このゲームだと。
あ、そうでしたっけ？
You were gonna, the walls opens up, and we're gonna head out.
もうちょっと前だったっけ？
ブルーの線じゃないかな。
ブルーのだったかな。
前の線、ステージにブルーの線あった
近くブルーのだった
か
とは思ったけど、
It hasn't given us
その
that
辺
objective yet.
ちょっと勘違いしてたかな。まあいい。
About to come. So we're gonna
原
take
作
them
通りだと
out,
そっちのはずですけど、
sweep all the way along the top,
そ
take
そっちか。
どうだっ
あっちが
たかな。
勘違いしてた。多分そうだったと思います。
Yeah, so Hakuba and Cavendish are one and the same character-wise. Hakuba kind of has a slightly variant moveset to him, but overall, Hakuba is a very powerful character. He's also one of the few characters in the game that's full force burst, activation, or form change technically, has a hitbox on it, and so it does basically a mini super when you transform into him, which helps out. He's also
そ
fantastic.
うじゃあスピードタイプですね。
His square combo is among the best in
で
the
も
game.
パワータイプとか
Made it.
スピードタイプとかいろいろあるんで、
Yep, it's like one of the base fastest.
例えばダッシュから見たアクションが得意なタイ
guys
プ
who
で、
spawn here. We're gonna take them out. Looks like it's way more than 3. Looks like 6.
ダッシュのゲージ消費とか少ない。
うん。
And then we're gonna have to head west from here to take out those guys some more before.
ああ、
ああ、白馬強いね。
うん。
Cavendish also and Hakuba look really cool when playing as them too. That blue streak effect after all their slashes.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters look great in this game as you use them.
Oh, 終わった。
There we go. Took out all the officers up top. That is 2.
そう、NSP もう一本ぐらい。
Yeah, Cavendish isn't among the best characters in this game, but of
ラ
the
ンキーとか
あれですよね
嘘ついて帰ってくるときの話
like a mid-high,
話が、
Hakuba is a better character, but having to like
変身
leave
したルッ
the
チ
form
見て
and
ない気が
enter
す
is
る
really
か
really
ら。
bad for him. It takes forever to enter and forever to leave. So
あ、いやじゃあ帰っ
that would be
今ので終わりか。
最後のやつ
今ので終わりで帰ってきて、ウォーターセブンでもう一回ある
帰ってき。て、ウォーターセブンで
そっか。
up to
が
a
出
point.
航するときの話。
Because
ガー
he
プが
sold more meters
島から出
than
してくれない
he
話
has
が。
more HP.
そう
And
か。
this makes him fantastic at like spamming that sort of like super end of the stage.
わあわあ。
You can spam it so often.
カイドウが来たり、ビッグマムが来たり、
あ
これは大変ですね、さっきからね
大変だ。な。
大次元ですよ、こんなの。
Alrighty, this is one of the few missions where at the start you actually fight the guys right in front of you. Almost
Yeah,
every
they kai,
mission you
they
start
kai.
off with a group in front of you. No, this one, that group is not necessary, so we skip right past them and go to fight Cody up top.
So we have to be careful to get Cody anywhere close to.
いや
サイズが狂ってるもんな。
ー、別ゲーすぎるな、これ。
Unfortunately, this
それは原作のビッグマムの視点なんだもんな。
watching people use them is very good.
ねでっかいキャラ出てきて使ってるとカメラが全部引きになるのめちゃくちゃ面白いですね、これ。
Which means that when she does smash attacks, they're generally stronger. A smash attack is an attack that would send someone flying. Usually they do pretty good damage against the break meter as well. Power characters are kind of all-rounders, but generally they do good damage. You see here, she changed to blue in her
カープはね、多分設定上この辺とも渡り合える
この
ぐらい
辺ともやり合える
の実力者なはずなんですけどね。
They'll dash for as long as you have meter. So you just hold the
海軍の英雄なので、
and once again they lose their ground combos and they only have air combos during that time.
So for this stage, we were attempting to do.
一応、ロジャーとかと戦ってた人ですからね。
はい
We want to drag
まあ、年取ってって話は多分あるんでしょう。
to the start of the
まあ
stage.
マウとかとは取ってるんだよね。
Uh,
大体5ぐらいだな。
原作でガープが本気を出したシーンっていうのが多分ないの
you
で
can、have a good time.
大体ルフィ相手で手加減してますからね。
そうなんですよね。戦争の時も手加減して殴られてるんで、
Yeah, he's not going into the air right now. It's really not working with you.
He also downed himself before he actually ran out of
天国はどうなんだろ
health, which is weird.
戦国ね、
Um,
戦争編でちょこっとだけ戦ってますけど、
he will be draggable to this area, which will save us a bit of time overall over him taking the
そ
path.
んな何ページも戦闘してる描写がない
う。その時
ですからね。
誰だっけ
Route would be to kill Garp, in fact.
Yep, either kill Garp so you get the fast route through, or if you have a character that has a good big dash, they can just drag Frankie along. So let's give this another try. There you go, you see him getting launched. And now we're gonna...
誰か足毛にされてる。フランキーか、これ。キャラがわかんないんですよね。カメラが引きになりすぎてて。
そんなちっちゃいんだよ。
ちっちゃいんですよね。
ちっちゃいんだよ。
ボス戦すごくやりにくそうですね。敵をなんか狙えないというか、うまく攻撃が当たらないから。
Alright, now that we've got him there.
もうだパワーが違いすぎる。
I think we're gonna have to fight Garp as well.
No, we just have to take out the random units around the area.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, you were...
青生地が来ました。
Yeah.
青木じゃが求められるか。
Alright, so now Usopp is gonna try to head back to the Mary. So we're gonna have to cover his escape while Usopp puts up some ice barriers. We're gonna clear out guys so Usopp doesn't get slowed down, and any ice barriers that would be in his best path, we're gonna take them out.
Yeah, so he can have a couple different paths on this stage, and if you destroy the enemies that kind of block those paths, he'll always take the best path. Unlike the case with Garp and the Pants Thief, where you have to take out a unit in order to make that path.
ちょっと4個がやり合ったらまあ、この試合めっちゃしょうがないですよね。
パンクハザードみたいになっちゃう可能性がありますよね。とんでもない。
炎を使うし。
市街地でやっちゃいけない戦闘ですね、明らかに。これはね。
So, Big Mom's an interesting character. She's a giant like the others. A couple of the other characters like Whitebeard and Kaido and her are the primary three. I would say among them, she's the worst. She's still a giant and a power type, which makes her fantastic in this game. But overall, she is kind of on the weaker end. She has things that make her feel kind of like a technique type, like on theme. Mainly that she like drains health with a lot of her moves.
巨大ロボットのだよな、これ。
Overall has like a lot of these, like status ailments and stuff, but they don't really pay off for her, I would say.
Yeah, but she's got to be compared to her contemporary giants. She's a little falls behind them. Doesn't mean she's not a great character. Just hard compared to them.
Yeah.
Alright, so we did have to fight Garp.
Yeah, at the end, I was gonna say.
Gotcha. I just jumped past the Usopp part.
Yeah, it's kind of forgettable.
おー、終わった。
I'd show those moves off. So.
何をやって終わったのかが分かんないですよね。戦闘が
でも
外れて。
ガープ倒すんじゃなかったかな、それは。
Pretty good character. Her primary problems are a lot of her moves are very long-winded, so they're just like slow, walking forward with lightning, or raining fire down from the sky. And these moves just take so long.
これで NS ロビー編が終わりまして、頂上戦争編かな。はい。
私はシャボンディショットから。
シャボンディショットとオークション会場から。あれは海軍呼ばれて逃げるところだ。マサコルでしたっけあれ。
ルフィが天井人殴ったんじゃない？
ああ、さ、天井人か。天井人殴るから。で、バサコルですよね。
I had said that the 6 arcs, I did not mention Marineford. So I thought that they kind of combined Dressrosa and Whole Cake into what is like section 5, I think.
Yeah. キザル、戦闘丸、パシフィスタ何体かが来る。とんでもない戦闘ですね。ここで出てきた最悪の世代とかって人、キャラクターたちが結構なんか即興で作られたキャラクターらしいですけど、今でもみんな出てくるとかいう。
そうなんですか。
はい、らしいですね。ここで何人かキャラクター出したら面白いって話になって、パパッと書いたキャラがここの最悪の世代らしいです。
結構簡単に考えたけどな。簡単っていうと。
Save some of our crew members. If you don't start with Kid, he takes
なんか3時間ぐらいで書いたとかって話ですね。最悪の世代のメンツを。
So the path to go, like knowing who's the fastest, who will get to where they need to be after you clear their objective is important, and then we do it in reverse order, slowest to fastest.
エースかっこいいよな。
うん。
Yeah.
Ace generally a really strong character. Great.
エース、
Great.
今頃捕まってるはずなんですけどね。
He's very powerful. Covers a lot of bases.
こんなところで暴れてる場合じゃない。
No,
BK 脱獄したの
yeah,
か。
Ace is a very powerful character. He has a charge
エ
mechanic
ースがここにいたら問題解決してるんですよね。
In full force burst, he does not charge his moves. They're automatically fully charged, which makes him quite a bit better.
自力で脱出王はね、また違うアニメの話になってくるので。
Automatization's a big problem in this game. If you were to call it that, I would. And because of that, having any mechanic that's going to give you
そう
extra
ですね、ウルフ氏があんまり出てこないのか、強いて言うなら。
makes your character fantastic because it just increases
ただ
past the norm.
ビッグマムとまともに戦って、ビッグマムの一味とまともに戦って、
幹部と戦って、
ね、幹部1枚落とし
一人倒
たんでしたっけ、
して逃
確か。
げ延びたんだよね。
とんでもないやつですよ。
だからすげえんだよな、本当に。
はい。
ネタじゃなく。
Fire Warriors games, you know that Ace has been terrible in all of them, and he is so good in 4, so definitely give him a go.
He's very
But yeah, that
strong
was
in, I
good.
think, the first game, which
In the
not a
first
lot of
one,
people played.
yeah.
And then he was nerfed in the second one.
まあも
And
ち
he
ろ
was
ん。
nerfed
あの国編にピックアップ割と当たってる作品なので、最悪の世代は結構な人数使いますね、この作品はね。
Ace's diving move, a couple dive moves have this glitch in the game.
ワールドクエストに出てくるやつは大体
はい
出てきますからね。
high damage.
ベッジはその前のホルゲキアランド編で出てくるんで、
wall or whatever on the pathward down, which does
使えますし。
insane damage. The reason why it's abnormal for him and not just like Hawkins or other characters is because most of the characters like Hawkins, they do 0.1 damage on the way down, but for him he does 2.1 on the way down. So for it to trigger multiple times is much more noticeable than with those other characters.
Yeah, so Ace is actually one of our bossy
次は
other characters, but it's very inconsistent. His moves, so generally we
ルフィですね。
for ILs doing it in a marathon setting, we'd much rather use something like LNG.
なんかストーリーが捉えやすそうですね、今回は。
So here we're gonna use Luffy dressed as Lucy.
やっぱりルフィ2年後だよな、これ多分。
あ、そうですね。
Quite
ニャン
powerful.
ゴルフィーですね。
Yeah, we're gonna clear out folks in front of us.
選手の時計部屋にも入ったのかな。
We'll clear them out. So head there.
いやー、精神と時の部屋入れたらね、解決するんですけどね、確かに。
Another Kuma in the center. So a lot of just taking out officers as they spawn, but knowing where they're gonna come from lets us get a little bit.
これはさっきの戦いの続きですよね。
No dialogue mod. You have
あれ、バウンドマン、
バウンドマン。メイクマン
ギアフォースですね。この段階ではまだ使えない技ですけど、今回 NG プラスなんで、
Yeah,
Snake one
I
definitely.
originally created it. I get this question a lot.
Ah, Snake
People are like,
one.
oh, why is this run modded or you know, should mod a speedrun category or whatever.
パシフィスタですね。
Random questions. The answer to that is the game is
こ
basically
い
like
つが3体ぐら
工
いいるんで
業ケースの時
したっけ。
点でルフィが2年後だったな。
on base game, which you might be saying is that's fine. Then you just
工業ケースの時点でルフィが2年後だったらエース逃げられたのか
I
な。
agree, that's fine.
どうでしょうね。それでも海軍の
はい、やっぱ大将は強いかな。
メンツ強いと思いますよ。
What would the time be? So I created the mod and it became a very popular category because it's really cool to be able to try out these stages and like notice that, oh wait, if had not this been blocking me, I would have had a time of, you know, 1 minute 20 on this stage instead of 2 minutes and 30. Where almost all the time is just waiting around.
Yep, definitely.
まあ、変木者がダメだったのかな。
Again, originally a few unmodded runs, switched over to modded, and I'm not going back. That's for sure. All right, so you guys saw that.
まあ
he's
乗っ
already
ちゃいましたからね。
as well. You can just ignore him for the majority of the mission. He'll come back around later, but we don't have
い
to.
やまあまあエースの話題はこの後ね、多分ちゃんと出てくるので、その場面がドンピシャで出てくる
Yeah. So
ムービー頭され
an
るけど。
additional mission here with X-Drake fighting a Kuma, we don't need to fight that Kuma. So we just walk right
いやー
now.
でも
He'll handle it for us.
こ
It's
この
okay.
ストーリーは絶望感すごい
And
ですよ
this
ね。
Kuma kind of walks up from the bottom.
一切歯が立ちませんからね、この辺の
So
敵
it's
は。
instantly safe
Yeah,
to
leave them for
instead
last.
head their last, yeah. Luffy has some problems.
マンジョリング海軍大将とかすげえ火力高いですもんね。
Mainly with his movement, he'll like not conserve momentum correctly unless you do like a full dash. That's part of why you're seeing me just like do full dashes instead of air dashes and whatnot. It's because of I would call it a mild oversight, where he just like kind of does like what looks like a landing animation or like an old school dash animation, and it.
ギアボス早いな。
はい。
早いな。
Part of why I routed him into this stage
この
on
鳥もあるんだ。
this stage has a lot of big characters,
戦
which
闘丸が来まし
Snake
たね。
Man's C4, his square 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 triangle move, counts as like a smash multiple times, so it does an abnormally high amount to them. And then Snake Man has among the fastest speed in the game, so he ends up being a really good character overall.
Alright, here's Kizaru coming back like I had hinted at before. Just juggle his ass.
いや、キザルも全く反撃ができませんね。完全にはめられてる。ああ。終わった。
There you go, Bunny Fine 3-2.
Yeah, some of these stages are much faster in like a normal New Game Plus. If you want to see that, it's on speedrun.com. But I will be lowering that time hopefully in the future, about another 5 minutes or so. I had some mistakes, but I still have lowered the time with my order.
さあ、これで場面が戦争の方に行くのか
But
な。
yeah, this is more for
そうです
intrigue
ね。
and to show off a lot of these characters that we don't get.
今の戦闘の
speedrun.
後、クマがやってき
とかのムービーが
て、
長いって。
全員飛ばされてしまって、
Get about 30 of them, which is really fun.
Yeah, 35.
仁ヶ島のあたりも飛ばして、インペルダウンも飛ばしていきなり戦争か。
やっぱ戦争が一番無双向けだよな。
そうですね。戦争はいいですね。
こうやってて一番楽しいですよね。
はい。敵も多いし、敵将の数がね、
Yeah, I'm
もう
gonna
全然
try
違
to
うん
show-
で
I will admit X-Drake is not quite fast.
シチュエーション的にも一番無双っぽいし。
So I will be taking
海軍大将もい
mild
るし、
alternative variant to the route where I let Mihawk actually break all the icebergs. Normally I wouldn't let him do that, of course. We want to make sure global warming isn't any faster than it already is. But we can't stop him in time, so he's just gonna have to open up the path for us while we take out Dofi and these other guys. On normal or something, we would have enough time.
ドレー
ブレイ
ク
クはまあ
は
一応海賊だけど、
海賊ですね。
元海軍で。
あれ。
And with that, I would. I actually took this path wrong too. I should
だ
have.
ってここに来る理由はない
already opened up the path.
ないんで。
ないですね。関わらない方がいいですね。彼の立場としては。ややこしくなるから。
Fast, that's the better path. You just go over to Dofi, beat him, and then immediately go through the first iceberg he broke, and stop them both. But overall, not too bad. This route is probably slower than going through the town and coming back, only with slow characters like this, because you're letting a lot of the town guys kind of not be cluttered up, and so you have to take this kind of wacky path through here. But
アニメはね、結
generally
構
speaking,
進んでるので、今1010何話とかだったと思いますけど、
the proper path.
ドレーク、
Slip
なんなら、寝返るぐらいの話まで確かやってたんじゃないかな、今。
For a non-giant character.
ワノ国編の、もう、鬼ヶ島突入して戦ってるところのはずなんで、
I wouldn't recommend the dinosaur one, but I do.
Speedrun, maybe not. Turning into a dinosaur in a Musou game?
もうだいぶ前にワノ国には入ってるんで、
はい
They should add dinosaur
Looking
mode.
forward
and
to
more
もうがっつり決戦やってますよ、今。
Warrior 5, I hope there's lots of dinosaurs to play as.
そう。
So
アニメ1000話が今年の頭ぐらいだっけ。で、ね、原作の方も去年1000話ですよね、確かね。1000話とコミックス100巻。まあ、ご長寿ですね、本当に。連載25年かな。
Very, very unlikely strategy. Here, I won't be able to get fast Akainu, so this cutscene will start moving my camera everywhere. So, just know that fast Akainu would get to him before any of this happens. We would just be right here where he spawns.
Yeah, there are like so many enemies in this North Park, but the only thing you have to do is take out the Admiral, so we ignore.
そうですね。まあ原作の話、
Hopefully I don't run out of
カイドウもそろそろ決着つきそうですね。
Yeah. No, you're gonna have some. All right, so now we get
自
to
作はまあ、あれが出たから、
by Aokiji.
ルフィの新しいやつ出たから、
そうですね。まあコミックス派の方なんかもい
まあ、
らっしゃ
あれは
ると思うので、
それじゃ言わないですけど、
He's very weak on easy mode. The boss type characters get much stronger in later difficulties, and that's not the case right now. So he's obliterated, out of the way. Backstrake's a cool character. His full force burst gives him earthquakes on his moves. Some of his moves become vacuums and pull in.
はい。
A lot of his moves gain smash property and like start hitting people against walls. Starts to do a ton of
ま
damage.
だ戦争ですね。
Very very cool. Good speed type. Very
イン
good
スモーク
design.
ジャッジ。
Actually,
3時のお父さん。
Hi.
really good air moves too, which is usually not a case for most of those.
ジャッジもでかいんですよね。
So there's an escort stage.
ジャッジってあんまり戦ってるイメージないな。
Buggy carrying Luffy and
戦
Jinbei.
ってはないからね。
ですよね。
Like there's only so much time to be saved here.
これでかいっていうかま
Fast as you could be.
あ、ワンピース世界では割と標準。
ちょっとでかいか
ちょ
なぐらい。
っと大きいぐらい。
Other characters
でかいやつらの中では小さい方って感じですね。
brother moves built into
こ
him.
のぐらいだとね。
海軍大将もこんぐらいはあるから。
はい。そう。海軍大将、なんか
割、と背高いっす。
綺麗な頭身で描かれてると思ったら意外と背は高い。
背高いんだよ。
そう。背は高いし、ごついっていう。
Luckily, we don't care about Ivankov's movement,
ビンスモーク一家は全員使えるので、
高いんだよ。
so
そう。
we're just gonna pay attention to Luffy's
ボードゲームキャリアンがあるからかな。
and make sure he's not getting stopped for too long
No.
doing any abnormal.
今短期集中連載が確か、
Ivankov
ね、
won't
この一家
stop
の話ですね。
either, so that's
ああ、そうでしたっ
I picked the sky type for this stage so that we would have
扉絵のやつが、
the ability
ホー
to
ルケーキアイランドになんか2人置いてかれてるらしくて、その2人の
judges amongst
行方がどうのこうのみたいなのを毎週やってますね、確か。
what makes them so good.
西尾家は科学力で戦うタイプの人たちなんで、改造人間とか、ファードスーツとか、
はい。
Whirlwind hits hard.
まあ、ジェットエーター今しますけど、
敵もなんかパシフィスタばっかりだから、
Very big
すごいゲームになってるな、これ。
to work with that help a lot in terms of
でかいし、向こうはビーム出してくるから、もうほんと、ガンダム無双ですね、これね。
多分
which is a good departure from some of the mistakes made with some of the earlier sky types where they have kind of abnormally low range. They've kind of gained some knowledge over the course of development. We're like, you know what, this is probably like, we need sweeping hitboxes, we need like good movement speed.
Yeah, the extra context is that Judge is a DLC character, so he came out after the initial game release. So I agree,
Oh.
definitely showing some
ガン
design.
ダム無双は最近出ませんね、確かにね。
最近
なんか
ないですね、
いろんな無双出るようになったこの走りがガンダムだったと思いますけど、
They did understand what a sky type needs to function
ガン
like.
ダムと結構やってたんですけどね。
ああ、そうですか。
Yeah.
一シリーズ一番好きって
Also,
いうか、
of
あれ、
the
3で止まったんでしたっけ、確か。
新ガンダム無双ってのもあったと思います。
Ah, so- so.
DLC pack, and this would have been the one for this pack. So, I think they learned like, well, you know, Judge is kind of an unorthodox character. We don't see him a lot.
うん、
What do you think he would attack like? And they kind of chose this cool like
そうですね。
spear using
FE 無双、ゼルダ無双。
super soldier kind of moveset. I think they hit it on the
ナン
head.
バリングで4まで続いてる海賊無双は相当なもんだと思うけ
Convenient
ど、
for development, of course. So has a lot of attacks from his sons, which kind of feels accurate as well as
一時期ね、
you know safe.
単発でアニメを無双にするのを
You gotta take out
ずーっと出し続けてた時期あったけど、
言いましたね、ベー
あれは
スレックとか
落ち着きましたもんね。うん。ベルセルク無双とかもあったし、 ルスラン戦記無双とか、なんかその辺出してる時期、結構乱発してましたよね、一時。
Whole cake focus on the game, so I understand why they picked him, but you're right, definitely a non-standard choice.
Him and Udo
As if there wasn't
were
enough.
both very odd.
Yeah.
ああ、
I was
ゼルダもそうね。ブレワイのやつが確か出ましたね、去
as if
年。
there wasn't enough Vin Smoke
北斗無双とかもありましたね。
北斗無双ありました
to
ね。
the game. I'm like, okay, good choice. They're like, okay, any of the brothers got added to the game? Alright, I could see that. And you're saying all three of them got added to the game, and now Judge is in as well.
ナルト無双、
Every
ありそうでないな。
combat
ナルト出ないですね。
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
ああ、刀剣乱舞無双。これも最近出ましたね、確かにね。
Uh,
Sengoku.
来てるのは FE ですよね。風化雪月無双。
ペルソナは無双っぽいけど、一応無双チームでもない感じが。
P5S ですかね。
Down to 3-5.
yeah, Judge is a cool character. Has a lot of good moves, so it's
はい、
一応困った無双っぽい
と
けど。
インパクトありましたね。
not a lot to be talked about besides C4 being very good. That backgaming move I'm using a lot, and his
Nah,
C5 being kind of
not-
below average.
競馬の対戦ぐらいしかないですかね。
Ground moves are not that great with him, but
完
it's
璧
pretty
な
functional.
生き方出てくるよう
キ
な
ャロットだ。
So he's carry here.
キャロット確か数論形態になると結構強かった記憶が。
disable Kuzan the Aokiji's approach.
すみません、キャロット使えるんですね。なんでしょう。3が確かドレスローザまで収録だってっていうのいう都合もあって、4で、それ以降のストーリーが収録されたので、それ以降で出てくるキャラは結構使用できます。さっきのビンスモーク一家とか、まあ、今のキャロットもそうだし、あの国で出てくる、まあ、最悪の世代やら、まあ、幹部やらも出てきますし。でも、カイドウの一部の幹部はあんまりかな。そんなに使えなかったっけ。
Generate and kill all of these units. And then, head back, make sure Luffy goes as fast as possible. In this case, I got unfortunate, terrible, like, Luffy just
で
wanted...
も敗北者のやつ、そうやったかな。どこまで、今どこだろう、このケースストーリー。どこだったかな。
そう。まだエースのとこたどり着いてないんじゃないかな。青生地でしょ。まだだと思いますね、多分。ムービーは多分飛ばしてるので。おー、倒したかな。
I guess I didn't consider that the Dragon Frankie feels like an escort mission too in Warp 7.
There's a lot of escorts, but not quite as many as in previous games, which is fantastic. In Pirate Wars 3, there were so many that it would like make your mind rot when you go back.
今エース
It's most common
確保して逃がしてるところか。
playing a lot of the Nightmare log in this game. Nightmare and Dream.
ってことはそろそろ。
そうだ、これが終わっただかな。
Exactly. So
こ
because
の
of
辺り
that,
で
people don't quite remember like, wait, how bad was it?
赤犬が出てくるかな。
And you're like, dang, there's like half the missions are escorts in that game, which is an insane amount. Quite unfortunate. The one benefit of killing Kuzan in this stage / Aokiji is that it won't play in
まだ白ひげ生きてますもんね。
second cutscene. At the end
where
of it.
a small gap appears and he says, "Oh no, I can't follow you past this." I'm like,
Yeah.
You could make an ice bridge in 1 second flat, dude. But okay, if you don't wanna clear a small gap, that's fine with me. Carrot doesn't have a form change into her Sulong form. That's okay. They at least gave it to us in the form of her supers.
このゲームは結構直感的に
They could have
遊べ
definitely
ますね。
built it, and it kind of feels like they were
そうだ
going
結構
to,
簡
but
単
they
ですよ
had
ね。
a model made. But I think what ended up happening is
特の話、連打でもある程度
gotta make that
ガチャガチャやっててもそこそこには勝てるんで。
okay, and they sort of dropped a lot of the whole cake characters like in a mostly finished state. I would say almost all of them are complete, but stuff
まあ言われたことやって暴いてればまあ大体なん
はい
ていうか。
already complete.
だし、まあ結構避けれるゲームだから、難易度多少上げても、 なとは思いますけどね。
Let's hope Power Warriors 5 Sulong Carrot form change.
Yeah, can't wait.
回復アイテムもそこそこ落ちてるし、スキルとか覚えりゃね、確か技使った時に回復とかって書いてるのもあるから、比較的遊びやすかったはず。
One of them is clearly better than the
デ
other.
ートエクストラか。
エクストラ。
あれもやってますけど、
うん。あれは無双風ゲームって感じですけどね、確か。
あれも無双シリーズではないから、
ん
作ってるところも違ったはずだし。
そうそうそうそう。
Yeah.
Croc's ground moves are really rough, but once you get into the air, it feels really good.
Yeah, he's has quite a few good moves. And
呂布ポジのキャラ。なんか、でも、このゲームはいたかな。
このゲームは、
well, two, I guess.
そこまで突き抜けて強い敵キャラって多分いないですね。
He's a very stamina-hungry character for us, like even more than the normal Sky type.
Yeah, as a Sky type, he's either the highest or the second highest stamina.
まあ大体、カイドウかビッグアムあたりで、
Not many that can.
ボスになっちゃうんですよね、その辺は。だから、呂布の嫌なところって、倒さなくてもいいってところなんですよね。古老館のなんか通り道にいるのが本当に嫌で、毎回。
関係ないのに中横から出てくる。
そう。
Yeah, he has a couple cool
なんていう
mechanics.
か
He
ね
can heal himself.
門開けたら出てきて、呂布ってなるのが、怖いとこで。
いや、
一周目、一回目クリアするだけだったら倒さなくていいから、っていうポジションってなるとなかなか他のゲームだといないかもしれないですね。戦国無双とかやってたら、前田慶次とか本田忠勝がそれに近いポジションの時がありますけど、毎回じゃないし。
He also unfortunately has
not in full force bursts.
そう、
as
呂布は
Croc, you want to get into full force bursts as quick as you
呂布は2個目のステージとかで突然出てくるのがいけないので、
wow. Special moves are also fantastic, but kind of unfortunate that he has to be on the ground to use ground death and sand. I don't remember what it's called. Sand burden? No, that's Funimation.
Desert Geosol.
Yeah, Desert Geosol. So this move has very low startup and lag, and has like an extra hitbox when it slams into the ground, which makes it abnormally damaging. So we will use it if we have proper spacing a lot, just because it's a lot of.
Teach が出てきてるから、もう戦争もかなり終盤ですね。
そうですね。
Reach the stage. Good.
No, yeah.
とりあえずなんかオリジナルストーリーとかで作ると大体ティーチできたりしますよね、ゲームとかで。
そうですね。だからこれ、3が確かそうで、ドレスローザに黒ひげ海賊団がやってくるって話がラストにあったはず。あの時は、この4のワノ国編と同じように、ドレスローザがちょっとオリジナルになってて、完結してなかったので。
大体展開に困ったクトヒを丸中身のしときゃいいみたいな。
実際、ドレスローザの時は黒ひげかかってはきてるんで、直接来ないだけで。
Can't quite do that without full force burst. He has additional stamina costs on some of his moves while he's not in full force burst in the air. Like his standard air C1 triangle just bleeds stamina, unfortunately.
Alright, so now we're on to 4-1, which is Return to Shavanti. Generally, this is the Zoro stage. Even in even in repeat character runs, we still play Zoro.
これ2年後っすか
新
ね。
世界突入です
はい
かね。。
シャボンディ諸島で集結する時の話かな。仲間を全員集めてメリーゴじゃない、サニー号に乗ろうって話ですかね。
So it takes the worst of the 9 missions and just says, alright, you're done with it. So
ということで、新世界突入編に入ってますね。
Some of them are very simple. And you might even say, is Zoro like that? Is he good? Zoro is a fine character.
そうですね。なぜかゾロが2年前衣装なんですよね。気になりますね、これね。違和感がたっぷりになってます。
Even using a weaker character saves so much time by avoiding that singular mission.
Yeah, he is
Alright.
kind of a one trick. He's one of the few one
そうですね、
trick.
2年後の
One major
ゾロは和風の衣装になってて、あと、片目がなくなってますね。
combos that are worth using. And it is this one move right here. Rising Phoenix is the 4kid's name, and the name in this is like pound 36, 360, 1080 pound. They use a bunch of different numbers. And it's fantastic. Extremely broken move. 1.5 power, smashes on hit, goes forward, can multi-hit the same enemy multiple times if they keep riding forward from it.
Best part is hitting enemies into each other with the smash when you get it too. You'll kill people just from hitting one guy into another with this move too.
Could you go over
バサラウスはもうちょっと計算のもうバサラなんだよな。
それバサラなんですよね。
バサラ、
Most of the time,
バサラがほとんど無双なんだよな。
extra break damage as well. And if they aren't broken, if the enemy is broken, or if they don't have a break gauge to break the peon, they get launched. And if they get launched into an object or another character, they take damage. And if they got launched into another character, that character also takes damage.
いやー、
I think that the damage is set, like so no matter what character smashes into another character, they take the same amount of damage. So if you hit 20 peons into one boss, that boss will take 20 hits of smash damage, which is massive. And you can take out whole characters just by knocking
あ
people.
ら、
Generally, power characters with a lot of smash moves.
一振りで300人死ぬのはさすがに。
こんな
yeah.
できるんだこれ。
Like, I don't know if
すごいことになってますね。
hyperbolic scaling in this game, but there is sort of like hyperbolic scaling on smashes where the first one will deal like 0.3, the second will deal like 0.17, 0.15, then 0.075.
ああ、こんだけ敵が
So unfortunately,
湧
like
いてるのがすごいですよ
will
ね。
deal
ほん
like
とね。
abnormally insane amount. But it
こん
will
だけ
deal
敵が出てき
one
て
either way.
一気にやられても
Average for
初手打ち特にすることもな
easy way
く
to think of them is they just
進みますからね、最近のハードは。
if there's multiple enemies, because that's when it starts getting to the point where it basically caps.
Fall off is really hard after
それ
that.
PC でやってるん
So
です
a
か、
smash, it's easy to think that
PC ですかね。ちょっと待ってくださいね。
PC だっ
8.8
たと思うんだ。
additional multiplier, which this move does 1.5. 0.8 is a lot of extra power.
そうですね、BC になってますね
Add。on top of
一
it.
応、PS4 スイッチ
And
PC
that's
かな
ignoring any sort of like weird anomalous bugs.
3
that
パターン。箱も出てましたっけ？どうだったかな、あったような気もするな。
Alright, so we already
あ、Xbox One も出てますね。
Robin in the south.
まあ、どのハード PC でも遊べるっていうことですけど。
Frankie in the east, so we're heading south to Brook now. Yep. And now, no, so now we're already got Sanji as well. So now we're searching for Luffy. So Luffy can be in any of 3 locations. This is RNG. It's not like always on the 3rd, always on the 2nd. No, it's just that randomly he is pre-allocated.
そうですね、ゲームパスにも入ってる表記になってますね。
Pretty standard luck there. If you get him on the 3rd one, it can be really rotten. And the western spot is a good amount farther from you. So you're really hoping that he's either in the north or south, and you head to one of those.
Yep.
Yeah. And we take out the bosses and have on the stage.
Yep. Zoro is a fantastic character. Again, one trick, so he starts falling off a bit, he trickles, but he is very, very strong overall, I would say. A good bit stronger than your average guy.
さて、
Akainu. So,
次は
Akainu
誰
is
で
a
いいか
setup
な。
character. He's a power.
赤犬ですね。
赤いの
ここはもう
another
ドレ
one
ス
of
ロー
those
だったか
characters
な。
where they were like, more power than technique, but technique is kind of the vibe.
ドレスローダですね。魚人島がなくなりました。
So he's got a lot of these really useful moves. In fact, if not for hyperbolic scaling, this character would break the game so hard. He would be better than Katakuri. Unfortunately, they did not let him do that. They stopped him before he could fly. And what I mean by that is this Meteor Fist move. The damage halves every additional meteor. If not, it would
まあ、全部のストーリーをやってる、
need to fire it like a
ね、
shotgun
余裕は
because,
多分ないので、
the nature of the move is just not
どっか切られたっていうのはしょうがないんですけど
far away.
ね。
It'll do full damage.
まあ、魚人島になるとな、
character smashes everything.
使い回しの効かないキャラいっぱい出さなきゃいけなくなるからってのはあるんかな。
Developers deemed to be quote unquote destructive is what I like to call it. And you'll notice I'm just walking around on this stage and enemies are dying. This happens because the character is made of lava. And they thought that's super sick, so they gave the character like a destructive property. You walk near people and it starts smashing them basically, or blowing things up near them. And yeah.
まあ全部やった、話全部やったな。
Yep, the stage is pretty
キ
straightforward.
ャラの数も、
It
ストー
starts
リー
off with a
ステージの数も
chaos
どうとなった
number
の。
of
え
That happens in a lot of side missions and a lot of free log missions, but this is one of the only times where you have to do that in a main mission.
いや、ストーリーしっかり入ってるとまあ面白いですけどね。ただまあ原作100巻ある作品なのできりないことにはなりますね。
Very southwest, you fight Pika as our first stage in Dressrosa.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
sort of
I
like
knew.
you'll miss it stage.
Akainu is a good character. In Pyre Warriors 3, he was amazing. I really enjoyed playing him there.
Yeah, he was buffed massively in this game. I don't know. I get it because he's an admiral and he's a very important one. But his damage is impossibly high for a character that isn't bugged.
あ、そうか。ドレスローザ行ってるってことはパンクハザードも飛んでるんですね。確か3の方にはしっかり収録されてた記憶がありますわ。
The only characters that
ドレスローザがオリジナルなん
like
ですよ
in a
ね。
non the third best, I suppose.
まあ、だからドレスローザからなんですけど。
そうですね。
Ace are very
3でオリジナルでやったところを原作通りやるって話ですね。
outright. And being a speed type for Ace is more useful on average than being a power type for Akainu. But as the difficulty goes up, Ace gets worse and Akainu gets better. So, in regards to that, stamina is just more important. So,
Alright, so that was 4-2. We're going on to 4-3.
ワンピース、今からでも追っかけたいって話でしたらね、ぜひAmazon プライムにね、なんと全話今あるのでね、
I don't know.
見てみてもいいかもしれないですね。
Game, he's like
1000何話、全話ありますよ、今。確か、プライム会員特典で今全話入ってるはずです。
and, there's nobody quite as good.
イーストブルー編から和の国編まで。
He's
So bad.
one of the worst characters in the game. I'm using his one singular useful move.
操作以外は誰だよ。
One singular useful move
操作以外に
over again, because there's no other way to play this character
操
with
作相手もなん、
bleeding damage.
バルトロメオ、あ、これ完全に原作通りのメンツで戦ってるな。
And his taunt mechanic, like, you do not need, like, you don't need defense in this game, so a character with defense really suffers for it. It's got a cool dash, though. His dash is very cool.
Iceman, yeah. That's what it makes me think of.
もうコロシアムの景品がメラメラの実になってるってことで、
Due to his status,
ルフィが取りに行く話ですね、ここね。
interesting.
実際は捉えられる、参加すると捕まっちゃうような話なんですけど、
Maybe on a decent character.
まあ、
Yeah.
やめやめの餌にしていろいろな。
So, like Bellamy, for
信号がね。
example, if you have FFB running, he cannot avoid it due to the fact that the status forces him to get hurt.
バルトロメオな
By its design. The anger status.
いいキャラしてるんだけど、
ルフィオタ
It's
ク。
just that.
先日も東映アニメーションの、まあ、レイの事件で、アニメが止まってた時に総集編みたいなのにバルトロメオが進行役をやってましたね。
In a game where attack speed is basically damage, and
If you're asking why we're playing him, ask now, and I have nothing to do with this.
so we're playing him to show off like a case of a bad character. We want to kind of
Gotcha.
show like what does it look like if your character's not
Okay.
like a broken speedrun character.
Educational, I got it.
Yeah. So
I think the one guy's behind you, so. Yep,
yeah.
we're good.
うん、
Fight Diamante, and that'll clear up this stage. Honestly, that wasn't terrible in terms of how long it took for us to get here, but there are better characters. There are more characters.
Ah.
I'd like to point to things like Beiji, post time skip Usopp, Kianimon. They're all really weak
そうですね、
technique
ルフィオタクがルフィの今までを
linked by low
解説するというよりは、近況を聞いて、キャーキャー騒ぐって感じの総集編を作ってましたね、確かね。
Yeah, exactly.
まあまあ、
Let's see here.
この国編よくまとまってて見やすくはありました
We'll
け
be
ど、
using Smoker.
まあ、止まってたアニメもね、ここ3週間ぐらい再開してるんでね。
Ironically, you picked a character I couldn't even add if I wanted to. But, yes, normally I could. Luffy's quite good. I will be playing a different character in every stage. So, you'll see plenty.
コロシアムの外になったな。
So, Smoker's a very cool character in this game. They went out of their way to give him a lot of interesting, like, new things he didn't quite.
スモーカーですね。黙々の実の能力者でよかったっけ。
Among the sky types, it feels the most sky typey, which I know sounds like a weird thing to try to describe. I'm gonna take a weird path here. This is only because I find it to be.
いやー、強い強い。でも移動速度が尋常じゃないですね。こんなんだったっけ、スモーカ
2年後のスモーカーは、
これ最強キャラでは。
能力すげえな。
すごいっすね。いやいやいやいやいやいや。
So, Smoker, very fast character, plagued by pure.
藤虎さんだ。
But FFB and Sky types actually halves their stamina cost.
トリスラ編で出てきた2年後に追加された大将ですね。
I don't know what makes his damage better than normal, but whatever it is, do it more.
Spectre moves are a little wonky, but you're right, his damage numbers definitely feel good.
アイスの書き。アイスの書きは。
あのエピソード人気ですよね、なぜかね。子供が持ってるアイスがズボンに当たって、何でしたっけ、ズボンがアイス食っちまったって言ってお金渡すんでしたっけ。
中身でしたね。
ECG is a character. I think
まあ、あの時は消え抜いたんじゃないです
should
か。
have been the only
当たったの
character
は
of the brothers that was added.
あの頃はロギアってだけで最強だったんですけどね。
Because he has like kind of the coolest, unique moves of the brothers, to me.
I think you just got suplexed by Pirate Hulks.
Yeah, I got power bombed. Oh well.
Even though I like Niji more, I would understand if Niji was the only brother added.
Yeah, like having this move.
Yep, there you go. There's Niji. I said I like Niji. Look, he'd be in the game at that point.
これはピーカーかな。
He kind of feels like the commander brother anyway.
なんかこの
Feels Red Rain.
この岩は全部カモフラージュで、本体がなんか中にいるんでしたっけ。
They go to.
Yeah, but they got to say they have more characters.
もう
By
カットしてるけど。
small variations on the same model.
Yep, they were able to kind of inflate that number a little bit. Though, admittedly,
56個とかも。
you know, to their normal strategy, they're
あれ
they're actually not counted amongst the plus 10 characters they usually add per game. Because they added like 13, I think, or something, including them.
Yeah, makes sense that the three
シ
of
ャ
them
ンクスが腕くと大きくなったんだろうなっていう話なんだけど。
three characters as well. So that's a different story entirely. Alright,
He
so
has
we do-
a special status here, also, or like special property that they ended up giving Kinemon later, which is these little fire pillars. So they reused that asset later. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No problem. So we took out Pika, but it takes a while for the game to actually recognize that Pika's defeated. So you got a lot of time to wait
ま
around.
あ、4個の強さがインフレすると、シャンクスが腕くったやつ、あいつ何なんだって、何なんだよって話になるわけで。
うん。
Bunch of stuff, and it's just
意外と強さが来たのかな。
this Pika's
なんでしょうね。
chew up, and then we race to the top.
あれはわかんないですね。
as a Sky type in full force burst, Reiju's gonna get there pretty fast. This is new to me, I've never seen this before. That was cool.
Yeah, it's hard with characters that are smaller, but I thought, might as well try it.
Yeah, I should give that a try. Stealing that. Alright, so now we fight Diamante outside. He's really weak here. And then inside, you've got 4 Dophies.
フラミンゴですね。
One is always the correct one, so we know exactly who to go for. And once again, not tough. Chew him up.
フラミンゴも結構でかいんですよね。
Won't have full force burst, so
もう3メーターとかあるんかな。
not something.
割とみんなでかいっすよね。
戦争編の時の七部会が並んだ構図がみんなでかいんですよね。なんか、そんな巨人ばっかりやったんかっていうね。
平均値がでかいんだよな。でかい。
One of the best characters in the game for spamming special moves.
糸糸の実
of the three
めちゃくちゃ強いんですよね、ドフラミンゴね。
歌いとはな、パーサイドとか打つ。歌い
使いこなすの難しそうな能力なんだけど、なんでもできちゃいますからね、あれ。
Yeah, that's how bad
空飛んでるあたりもう天才ですよね。
Those two things combined ended up not losing much at all.
Yeah, he's crazy. So we're gonna use Reiju here. Reiju is a very weird character. I want to say that she's unfinished a little bit more than it appears on the surface.
ピンスモークレイジュですね。
He's got such awesome moves.
ジェンはみんないるんだよ。
Yeah, she's super cool.
ジェルマは全員います。
全員使えるんですよ。
For one, the game
兄
does
弟
consider her
3人、4人と
stuff to be poison.
親父まで
The game doesn't deal any damage.
3時含めて6人全員使えます。
So that's kind of odd. Her charging mechanic is like, it doesn't feel consistent at all. And I've tried to view it with some tools and like look into when I'm charged and when I'm not, and it seems random sometimes.
Yeah, I ignore it.
いや
Play as her. When she's in full
ー、
force,
こうめちゃくちゃな行動範囲と
turn down and off
空中戦闘の性能で、
for in the air.
大体
コスコ使った記憶ありますけど、
Definitely a fun character.
好きなキャラですね。
Use it as Croc. Very strong when even at like low levels. So like you're on a casual playthrough. This mission is a little annoying. A bunch of officers just keep popping up, and you have to just chase them around, take them down, and then destroy the boxes that they point you towards. Not much to do there. And then then the crew tries to escape from Dressrosa.
She is among the weirder, I would say worst sky types in terms of mobility. For some reason, her air dash is just not that fast. It doesn't seem to be boosted much by full force burst. Might be like a light oversight, but I find that the movement speed between full force burst and non-full force burst dash is like not different enough, which seems odd. But she does have other properties from it, so maybe that was the idea. She gains like that stuff instead. But yeah, she has a fake poison property that just doesn't work. So very weird. I don't know what the heck's happening. What happened? I thought this stage had a pathway here, but goes to show. It's hard to get used to.
It shows one on the minimap, but it's not actually there.
Where are they? Am I missing something? I thought I had already hit it.
さあ、
Let me head down here.
そうか、そういえば、ここからはあれですね、多分3の範囲抜けて、原作通りまた辿ってるところですよね。この辺りからはね。
Not only not deal damage, but also just not deal
そう
bonus.
ですね、今、藤虎が追っかけてくるのを、なんとか
Badly poisoned, basically.
振り切って島から脱出しようとするところですね。
Overtime or something. But I can't complain all too much. Character's still really cool in the end.
この後、ゾウ行って、ホールケーキアイランド行ってって流れですかね、確か。
On her moves, good hitboxes. Of the sky type, she has relatively good hitboxes.
ここで、まあ、仲間になった連中と一緒に島から逃げるところですね。
slip past the box that I thought I hit.
Yeah. If you were playing as Judge, you would have hit it. The improved design. Alright, so now we've taken out... Oh no, there's still more provisions.
Yeah, there's just the two provisions, the person and the provision here, and then we're good. Yeah, due to her like kind of not so insane movement speed.
能力やばいな、ほんと。
Quite tricky.
いや、でも攻撃力低すぎて、500人、600人ぐらいしか倒せてないんですよね。こんだけなんか暴れてて。
And then beat the boss that spawns. We don't actually have to wait for the crew to get
機動力は本当にすごいけど。
west or the southeast. We just need to get there after the officers.
まあ、定着
They
取
do
ってない
kind
と
of
こ
have
ろ
to walk a certain distance, I think, but mostly
Gotcha.
we just kind of not worry about it. I take out that one first because these guys are already head towards the area, and the guys up there's kind of don't. They just kind of stand still up there.
Last time I played, they were actively moving away from it, like they were heading up in order to cut off. You see the person. Well, you see the person walking along the top. I don't know which team member it is, but you see how if they're walking along.
まあ夜遅いですしね、月曜日にもなってるので、皆さん無理をなさらずね、視聴してくださいね。
Over there.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, he's always the furthest
もう
away.
2時なんでね。
So Reiju,
まあ、アーカイブもあるんで。
そうですね、アーカイブもこの後少しずつ上がっていくと思いますんで、
these guys got stuck. That's kind of funny.
見逃した作品はアーカイブで
Her moves outside of full
ダイジェストでご覧ください。
So I think she's one of those characters that's like on the high end very good, and then on the low end really bad. Very like high disparity character.
診察用だつ。
Like,
う
when
ん
she's bad, she's bad.
診察、
She's good.
診察さん奪ったりするのは。
First is a big part of all of that because she needs her attack speed's like a little below average. Her AOE is pretty bad. And
Yeah, those two things get remedied by going to full force burst.
yeah, she doesn't have like an easy way of charging this mechanic. You can see right now, like,
診察やるときは最初からずっと医者なんだよな。
do I?
謎の四字熟語が。
I don't know if that was just the guys getting close enough or me getting in the corner. Kind of
お、
dubious.
藤虎さん。
Either way,
来ましたね。
not too bad. She has okay specials, but I find that their AOE leaves something to be desired.
この人何の能力者でしたっけ？なんか隕石を落としてくるんですよね。
重力とかなんかそんな感じだったっ
Probably
け？
is her biggest problem. A lot of her supers have that.
重力、そうか、重力か。
So
名前なんだったっけ？
何の意だっけ？
here by using them all.
マグマグは違うな。
Overall, really neat character, very visually pleasing. Just a couple like anomalies that, if they remedied, would be a very, very cool character. She should
Alright.
build tears faster. Okay, good.
That's it for 4.
あれ藤虎なんだったっけ？
We're now moving on to 5. So we're
Yeah.
heading over to Pokek.
Whole Cake Island. So that stage we just did is
悪魔の実の名前
you
出
know,
てない
kind
ん
of
で
a
したっ
meme.
け？
We talk
なかったか
あ
な。、
ずしずしの実って出てますね。
the
多分
developers
設
really wanted
定
to
資料
have
集
this
的なので書いてたんじゃないか
break.
な。
They were like really proud of the idea.
ずしずしの実
Stage。where you had to break a object and stuff. And that was how they decided to implement it. But
ずしずしの実を食べた重力人間。
it's a big like multi-person escort. And
多分作中では名前が出てないですね、これは。
very slow. A lot of time just spent walking from point
う
A.
ん、まあこれに関しては、なんだろう、使いそうな名前がね、多分他のキャラクターに全部使われてるんですよね。
Want to take out
重力の名前、
グラグラとかは
重力っぽい名前にしたそう、グラグラとか、マグマグもダメだし、直々も確かいるんですよね。
時期はまだ違いが出すからね。
うん、
And lastly in the northeast.
そうそう、磁力、重力みたいな能力からイメージする名前を使おうとすると、多分他の候補がないんかなと思います。
You're gonna spawn, go in there.
キロキロの実とかもありますね。
Nami. I feel like this character is pretty weak.
色気はなんか綺麗やっちゃう。
重さを、なんだろう。体の重さを操作する能力だったと思いますね、確か。
Egg and Zeus, and these both are relatively good for a technique type character, and she has a lot of really strong special moves that are really hard to like fail with. They're just that good. But at the end of the day, she is
そうで
pretty.
すね、最近は覚醒って言って、悪魔の実が、なんだろう、悪魔の実の能力がもう一段階引き出される、相手に影響を与え始めるっていうのが出てるんで、
But yeah, she has very good special moves, and Zeus is pretty good damage
相
wise.
手をその状態にしたらあかんやろって能力は一定数ありますね。
Yeah, mechanics and stuff.
あれ、
Whether egg
ゾーン系ってどうなんだっけ、覚醒。
due to the
ゾーン系の覚醒は、なんだっけね、タフになって、
hit them for a lot of burst damage.
火力が増すとか、まあそういう、だから単純強化的なものだったと思いますけど、
ゾーン系がパワーが上がって、ファミシャが自分と同じものにして、ロギアってなんだっけ、ロ
ロギアの覚
ギアは
醒
なんだろう、
って今まであっ
いや
たっけ、天候の変化とかを起こすとか、そんなんじゃないですか。確か。パンクハザードがそれで起こったんじゃないかなっていう話があった気がしますね。
そう、
The damage of
確かに。
赤犬と青生地が喧嘩して、
I'm impressed.
ああいう変な天候になったってのは、覚醒した能力のぶつかり合った結果なんじゃないんかな、みたいな話が確かあったと思うので、
Really abnormal. She has a weird dash. She has bad range. Her major flaw would be that I think like square triangle is a good combo for like actual clears and stuff, but other than that, she's kind of trapped. We're gonna use Frankie here.
まあ実際七部会とか対象クラスの人はみんな覚醒してるかもしれないですね、もしかしたらね。
あ、ロギアはまだ出てないのか。
ロギアで覚醒したってのは、なんかがっつり原作で描かれたのは多分なかったんじゃないかなと思いますね。してそうな人は何人かいますけど、
多分大将とは覚醒してるんだろうなって感じはするけど、
You're spawning here, you're in this electric cage, you want to avoid the cage and then take out all of the Gurma commanders and then the brothers. So yeah, pretty straightforward.
これは
Frankie's got some cool moves. His general's left, one where he drops in with his mech and shoots a bunch of guns out. That move is insane, even with like the hyperbolic scaling, like you mentioned. It's still absolutely destroy. You only need like 2 hits.
そうですね、なんかフランキーすんごい地味に見えますね。いや、派手なんだけど、
あ、ロボットだから、ロボットなんだけど、
なんでしょうね。まっとうな動きをしてますよね。
That was faster than
常にロボを乗るくらいというか、常にロボなんですけど、
本人もロボだか
常に
ら、
メカなんですけど、
You saved 5 seconds with Frankie.
あ、そうですね、ゾウはね、
ゾウはないです
収録ないんですよね。
That was the one where you accidentally ran.
そうなんですよ
ゾウ
ね。
短かったかな、でも。原作でも。
How long you've been playing? No struggling for you, lol.
そうですね、敵が。
原作でもゾウあんま、
Too many hours. I think
てか、ルフィたちは
which is not even fully correct.
ほぼ戦ってないから、そうで出せるかと言われるとちょっと微妙なんですよね。
So I've been playing for a
We're
while.
on to
そうですよね。
we're on to 5-3.
ルフィたちが来た段階では、
This area for the whole
も
game. We're gonna fight
う、ジャッ
Sanji.
クたちが引いてるはずだから。
We fight Beiji and his officers, and then in the very south of the stage, Peroskar will spawn, and beating him more. So, pretty straightforward on the objectives for what we're doing here. Not a whole lot of path in to be saved other than getting to where Beiji is and slightly north, and then getting to where
大きい
Peroskar was slightly south.
ですね。
大きしですね。
So this stage, I'm gonna have a little
もし今
lag
何や
here.
ってんだ
This
ろ
is
う
the problem
な。
with the stage.
海軍やめて
やめて、たまになんか出てきて優秀なこと言っ
Messing
て
with、my bit rate. So just
何
know
か
that
やってるっぽいです
that's
けど、
why he's doing that is like
よくわかんないですね。
ice and rain everywhere.
そういうと同じぐらい便利っぽいだけやってるけど、
うん、
The leader's spirit. Kuzan's a cool character, no pun intended. He's has a lot of like for a technique type, which
あとね、
generally
ギャング
has a
ベ
little
ッ
bit
ジ。
less damage.
なんだっけ、最悪の世代の一人ですね。
Ice status ailment is provided on all of his attacks.
能力は、
He's in full force
白のみ
and he
白
has
白
certain
が
moves
体を
that
白に
合ってましたっけ？
trigger
ああ、
bonus
白
damage
です
that
ね。
Ice Sledgehammer
体が白になって、その中に人を入れた
入れ
り、
たり、攻撃した
物を入れたり
り、
ね、できるっていう。
less damage in this game. They don't flinch while they're in full
これ
force.
また有能な能力
He
で
does
す
a
ね。
lot. The only thing he's bad at is some of his hitboxes could be a little bigger, and that would be fantastic. Mainly his air square string and his stamina gets really bad. But I have Moonwalk. We haven't really gone over the skills in this game, but Moonwalk is a skill that makes your dashes invincible and halves the cost of them. It gives them a little tiny bit more distance on full dashes as well.
元気もいいキャラしてたよな。
And so they are exceptional.
And this air square string is not working with you.
Yeah, it's a little hard on these hills. I tried to go lower to the ground, but I think part of the lag is getting to me. I also should have just full horse burst earlier. This character is really good on the
攻
ground too.
撃アイランド編は
It would actually be faster in a couple of these sections.
なんですね、なんか結構プレイヤブルじゃない
So
キャラが
you know
多く
that I'm
て、
just kind of trying out to show how I would play the character. But,
DLC で何人か追加されるのと、
so yeah.
本当に敵でしか出ないのといるんですよね。
ギミック担当とかいますからね。
ここは、ビッグマムの、息子やら娘やらがいっぱい出てくるから、
Yeah.
Yep, that was a fine.
作りきれなかったのかなって気もしますけど。
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, yeah, doing pretty good on pace so far. I think it's not too bad. Let me get to that. I'm going to quickly server mute. Okay. Sorry. I
次誰でいくかな。
again, it's mild misclick.
あれまた青記事。
間違えた。
So, Blackbeard. We're gonna be using Blackbeard on the stage.
あ、
5,
戻っ
4.
た。
Blackbeard's pretty cool. A very fast character, very odd character.
Oh.
Remember, I used to get asked.
黒ひげティーチですね。
Why is
2年後になって4校になったキャラですね。
You know, etc., etc. There's a lot that goes into exactly why that is. One of the biggest things, his movement speed is actually insane, and as unorthodox as he is, his if you cancel a lot of his moves early, they're very, very good.
闇闇の実の能力者で悪魔の実の能力を無効化できるんですね。これなかなか厄介な能力で。いまだにどうやったのかわかんないけど、白ひげの能力を奪ってるんで、グラグラの実の能力も使えるとかいう。
あれ何なんだろうな、本当に。
あれ何なんでしょうね、結局。なんか、変な儀式始めて、出てきたら能力吸ってましたけど。
Brule spawns with a bunch of fakes. You have to go for the correct one, but we know that I think the one all the way in the I think that's the real Brule.
闇闇も本当なんかよくわかんないんですけど、ね、引力とか使います、ね。
Kind of the correct Brule. So we didn't need to fight any of these. We just need to be at the staircase to trigger the fake Luffys to spawn. We have to take them out. It's part of the mission. And then we will just head north.
そうなんですね。空島の前に出てきた時はね、なんだろう、ボットでのよくわからんおっさんやなぐらいやったんですけど、次出てきたら黒ひげって言って、その時はドラム島のストーリーで示唆されてただけの人間だって分かって、で気づいたら、ね、戦争でエース捕まえて事件を起こした張本人いて出世してますよね。
The opposite of like Bluno from earlier, who is really weak. She's got like 3 times.
闇闇はロギアですね。はい。
一応、
Yeah, Blackbeard's good. He has good movement speed, very good damage. His status is useful. It can be a little weird to get used to.
そうですね、白ひげの下っ端のまあ振りしてたというか、まあ海賊団にはいましたね。
一応下っ端では、
最近、おでんの階層とかで白ひげの船の話がちょっと出たりしましたけど、その度にちょこちょこ出てきますね、なんかね。
Here, I'm going to use Robin. Robin's a pretty unorthodox character in this game. She hasn't changed much from Pirate Warriors 3, where she was fantastic, but the game has changed underneath her, so kind of lost.
黒ひげがドラムを攻めた。あれはなんか謎ですね、未だにね。
So being that she was so
何か目的があったんでしょうけど。
extremely damaging in this game as well.
そう、なんか、ワンピースは結構語られてない話が未だにあるのでね。完結するまでにその話全部わかるんかなってところがまだまだねいっぱいありますよね。
I will burst full force burst anyway with a lot of these because her attack speed is still increased and it's easier to work with special moves, but yeah.
そうですね。また出てきた時にね。にやりとできればいいんじゃないかなと思いますけど。
最終までは長いってことだね。
This category is really tough, but Robin's tons of hits are chunking him down in no time. We're also on easy, so it's not too bad. On higher difficulties, he can be tough, and you have to fight him more than once at this stage. So yeah, keep on escorting Sam.
そう、カタクリでっかいんですよね。この感じだと5メーターくらいですかね。ロビンの3倍ぐらいあるから。3倍はないかな。4メーター以上ありそうですね。
倍以上は。
So you can trigger a bug on this stage by like killing Perospero before he spawns, and the game will get pretty sad. But we're not going to do that. It's fine. But do know it's possible Perospero falls from the sky and he's already dead, and the wall breaks before it spawns. It's weird, like shenanigans. It doesn't save time though, because the game still plays the cutscenes, and actually it like might even lose time because the escorts freak out.
Never heard of that before.
It's really difficult. You have to like avoid all the Katakuris after the first one and immediately head
ビッグマムがいますね。でかいでかい。
Gotcha. Alright, so now we clear out everyone inside. We're gonna have to take out the Katakuri here as well. So our Beishi's gonna big father. And now we're gonna have to take out Perospero and the new group of enemies that just spawned. The important ones having their little indicators on the big map.
So we don't do a lot in this stage after we kind of get them escorted. We just take out all the major units, and then they will walk past all these units. They don't care about any of them. They won't stop for any of them. They're just programmed to pay attention to a couple things, and that's it. So we just kind of wait it out, and the stage will end.
はい、これ今話どこら辺ですかね、今。どの辺ですか？
今、ホールケーキアイランド編の、
Robin's a good character, very sharp, very, very low range.
カタクリ出てきてたけど、
interesting moves. I have a lot of like a counter move that crits.
逃げてるところとかかな。
レイジと協力してたから、結婚式ぶっ壊して
そうですね、結婚式後ぐらい。
逃げてるところ。
逃げてるとこじゃないですか。お茶会に突入して、暗殺に失敗して、怒らせて逃げてるところが。
Just a little too short. If she pushes them a little too far, she just starts losing damage like crazy.
そうですね。マザーカルメルだっけ？あの写真を割って、マムが失神するんでしたっけ？
Yeah.
劇場するんだ。
That stage is pretty awesome.
あのあたりですね。
So that was 5-5, we're on to 5-6.
So Usopp has 2 movesets in this game as well. I will be using pre-time skip Usopp. In a lot of cases in this game, pre-time skip's just better than post-time skip, unfortunately. The movesets are newer, I suppose, and then the time skip ones, ironically.
ブレイキングですね。
Means that damage, or like
狙撃の王
the
です。
attention to them tends to be quite massive, actually.
ウソップの手配書って未だにこっちなんでしたっけ？
ゴッドウソップがある。
ゴッドウソップだから、そっか、一応仮面は取れてんのか。
Alright, so from here we take out the enemies out in front of us. Then we have to help our allies get.
まあ、ウソップ以降ブレイキングかも。
I think we clear south first, and then we clear north because there are additional spawns north.
まあ、今さ、言わんでもって感じだし。
South of them.
うん。
As we head north, there's going to be a few triggers, and then we head west and south from there through that like a foresty area.
So this is another stage where
まだ2年前ですかね、これ多
was
分。
designed around where you
うん、
are.
ああ、そうですかね。
So you can
狙撃
2年前だと
の衣装は
油
2年前
巻いて爆
にしかないか
発する感
you
じ。
can trigger a lot of the
ら。
triggers
ミニストロビー編の時の衣装だから。
in the north. Usopp's full force burst has pre-time skip will like leave these oils on the ground when you run, and they're detonated by any of his fire attacks, which he has plenty of them.
火の鳥星が強いですね。
We can ignore Big Mom spawning and like making a tantrum here from her eating disorder. And we will instead focus entirely on just like clearing out the route by pre-running to these areas before our allies even get here, and clearing out the major enemies.
Lightning fast. This is unusual. Normally we don't have to do this, but if she makes her way over, she injects herself in the situation.
Yeah, it was worthwhile to just take the time because, one, you need to, but two,
あれ
the other guys were still
森に
running
入ってって
towards
る
me,
な。
so I didn't feel like I lost much in that interaction. It's just this one. This one didn't activate. It's kind of weird. Funny man. Yeah, pretty straightforward. We just get our guys over here. I'm gonna deactivate full force burst really quick. This is you can deactivate it early, lose only like 20% of the meter roughly, and then be able to refill it up while you're waiting around any of these types of stages. It's a good way of building it back up while you're in some downtime. More significant strat in standard.
結構このウソップ慣れると面白いんだよな。油巻いていけば爆破するのは。
The brulee fight in here, which I always like kind of screw up getting over to. This time I didn't. Pretty straightforward. And then Prospero summons. I don't think we have to wait for our allies. We just need to have Brulee defeated.
Yep.
I will try to sleep this boss. One of the only characters in the game with a sleep is Usopp. Sleep will disable their ability to regenerate their guard gauge and just stun them forever. So we can just have no problems beating him up.
Yep, and that's 5-6.
But yeah, Usopp's kind of a trap character. His time skip version's like more of a trap character, which just is too slow. Go ahead, K-Scan.
All good. We're on. That's 5-6. We're on to 5-7, which is our last mission in Whole Cake. And this one is another boss stage. We're gonna be fighting Katakuri.
まだあった。
次はキザール。
So we use the light man himself, Admiral Kizaru.
また海軍大将ですね。ピカピカの身の能力者。
Not the best boss killer, but he does the job, particularly on this stage.
レーザーを撃ったり、 自分の
Katakuri is big enough.
体を
体
光にしたい。
を光の速度で動かせるんでしたっけ？
Kizaru, or Katakuri, that is, he's a purple orbed
キ
boss.
ザルも結構でかいはずなんですけど、あれですね、カタクリがもうワンサイズでかいんで、小さく見えますね。
もう、本当インフレしてるよね、体の大きさも。
でかさがインフレしてるんですよね。
Game that gives you more defense as your health gets lower. Basically, he just has Undying. So he will start taking less and less damage until he takes literally 1/5 damage. As his health gets
光の速さ
20% margin, it's at full effect.
結構難しい。すごいっすよね、光のやつは。ど
Beat him up even more.
Yeah.
うやってみんな対応してんだろうな。
Kizaru's Air C3
無色で見てんだろうけど。
is, it does a
見聞色で見るのと、武装色で触るですよね、あとはね。
So it's 6 individual hits that can happen. And so if near a wall, it's easy for all the explosions to land on the same guy. But Katakuri is so big, even without a wall, a lot of the time all 3 explosions, or at least 2 or 3, will just blow up, deal a ton of damage.
On to the last 5 stages.
で、ワヌクに入りましたね。
はい。こっから、でも、
これはオリジナル
1ステージ目ぐらいは確かオリジナルっぽさほぼないはず。
まあ、一応、
Character from the anime and manga.
最初の方は、
はい。
原作の流れが、
おでんはまずいでしょう。DLC の一番最後のやつに入ってたのがおでんですね。
On his ground strings.
まあ、もう当の昔に死んでるはずなんですけど。
Make it a choice. But on the ground, it is not a choice. It must happen. You cannot perform them without it. Sort of a weird reverse of Mihawk, where in the air, he does have full charge all the time.
最初は、なんだっけ、ルフィとゾロが合流して、ホーキンスとドレイクだっけ、なんか見つかるところですよね、確か。
A group of officers will spawn in town. We gotta take out. Then for the
ここはそんなにオリジナルっぽさなかったかなと。
Hawkins will spawn. He has multiple lives tied to his officers, so you can take out those officers so that he loses his extra lives. Finish off him, and then X-Drake spawns as the balls for this stage. I think X-Drake
お
spawns.
でんすげえな、これ。
He spawns.
おでん初めて見るんですよね。DLC 買ってないし。
Pocket. Where? There he is. Odin's a cool character. Very high, like, damage being that he's a power type and everything. And his moves end relatively quickly while maintaining good DPS. Size is pretty big. So he ends up being good overall.
ホーギンスと残機を探してくれる。
There's a special mechanic in this stage where the enemies that spawn that you're supposed to kill are like, they're invisible until you get kind of close, which is kind of a cool mechanic. Oddly enough, Odin's not good at killing these guys or finding them, like just by pure like visual. But I wanted to make use of him anyway. He does have problems with stamina a bit, similar problems to a lot of other power types. But kind of makes up for it by having a really good meter gain and therefore usually very good.
そうですね、おでんの武器は
safety.
原作でも出てますね。ゾロが今持ってる刀がおでんの武器なのかな。
X-Drake. So a couple
これが恐竜みたいなのが、これドレイクですね。獣型になった姿。
his special moves, that is. And one of them, this projectile move, actually doesn't have, or it's actually specially programmed to only allow for one of the hits to land. So even though 3 hits come out of that special move, only one has to land and to deal the damage. So if we throw just one blast, we can just dash immediately after. The other 2 won't deal any hitboxes. So it's front-loaded, very, very front-loaded, while also maintaining having a huge range to it. Kind of special in that way. Good character though.
All right, a fine 6-1. We're on to
うん、
6-2.
6の目だ。
This one has though we're in the bridge town now.
この辺からちょっと原作
So
が変わっ
we use
てくるんです
Doflamingo
か
here.
ね。
Doflamingo is a sky type. With a
そ
lot
う
of
ですね。
アウトダムヤとか、クザンとかが
power
青
on the
木とか
ground, kinda
が
abnormally. So he's
入
just
っ
really,
て
really
きて
good.、
この後はなんかオールスター
If
で、カイドウに挑む話になってくるから、この前かここかぐらいまでが、ここも怪しいんかな。
青木自体はこの辺で出てきてもう来てるはずなんで。
はい。フラミンゴも強いな。
フラミンゴは攻撃範囲広いな、みんな。
攻撃範囲が広いし、移動速度も尋常じゃないから。
Very, very good. You're gonna see me use it a ton. It's very easy to charge, does a ton of damage on its own, and deploys sort of like traps that deal insane damage and hit people while you hit.
He's good, you're right, but I'm one of the people that complains and misses the old Delphi. So.
Yeah.
Everything
一番上のロゴの、太いってのに見えるのは、あれは A です。ASF、アニメスピードランズフェスティバルっていうイベントを今、リストリームしてますので、そちらの ASF というロゴになります。はい。まあ、このネタ多分、イベント始まってからずっとみんな言ってますので、大丈夫です。ASF です。よろしくお願いします。
Doflamingo is very good in this game. His string mechanic is still absolutely insane in this game, where he can like wrap up his enemies with these strings and kind of make them do various actions, namely the spinning action is among the best. He generates a lot of lag in this game on everything he does, so do note better PCs are welcome against while playing as this character.
Yeah, Warriors games have never been known for good performance levels, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, quite good.
Take out the watchtowers, we head to the southeast, and now we just gotta fight some big mom pirates before we wrap up this city.
ペロスペロか。
面白いね。
ルフィっぽいのは偽物ですね、確か。
誰なんだけど。
ビッグマムの。
ビッグマムの子供の。
カタクリ大好きな妹ですね。名前が出てこない。あ、ブリュレだ。ブリュレだ。彼女の化けてる姿ですね。
Very strong. He has string status is one of the better statuses in the game. Kind of works like freeze, except they're like held a little bit more to the floor. And it allows like some puppeteering. He has fantastic moves all over the place. Very big AoEs. Has no problems like other sky types do. Mainly just speed isn't that great with them in some places, and stamina costs easy to bleed all of his stamina out very quickly.
Alright, we're on to 6-3.
The hardest stage in the game, we're going to use Katakuri. Normally the speed
for
this game.
いますかね、もともと。
The stage is very difficult.
この辺で原作とだいぶ違う感じ。
敵の方に。
彼がルフィ助けに来ていますかね、ルフィ。
彼
は、そう、ビッグマムこっちに来るけど、確か、カタクリは居残りしてるはずなので、ここには来てないんですけどね。
原作では。
The difference in speed on easy for just like killing Hawkins a couple times in a row is pretty close to just taking out these guys. Hawkins, just railing on Hawkins and murdering him is probably a bit faster. But as the difficulties go up and up, it's better to just kill the officers. And so we use like kind of the same strat. Just so that, you know, there's parity between all the different difficulties. I use the same one. Katakuri.
You know, we get some officers spawn in the south. It's like a maze down here to get over there.
Yeah, I'm taking a long route on purpose.
ここだと、このゲームだと、ビッグマムとカイドウがあまり協力してなくて、
FFB is where
ルフィを取り合ってた。なんか、仲間にしてるんですよね。
そうですね。まあ、オリジナルストーリーになってますので。
Gains massive damage increase, gains a bunch of range to work with. I actually pathed wrong here. I'm gonna be.
Gotta head northwest.
doing it in a different order apparently, so we'll have to handle this as it is. I can at least test this path, I suppose, that I've never done, where I save these before Robin. I mean, this makes sense to save time, I suppose,
はい。
since Robin would normally
まあ、当時完結してなかったというか、今でも完結してないので、まあ、こればっかりはどうしようもないです。
closer to where you have to,
まあ、時期的に出すなら和の国をメインにしたい気持ちはよくわかるので、まあ、これはしょうがないかなと。
I think
Yeah.
from here you
Go ahead.
Jack is right by the docks, right? Oh, we gotta help them get there, so we gotta take Frankie and Robin through the side.
Frankie, Robin, Usopp have to make it.
Sorry, this level's tough. I don't even remember what I need to do here.
So, Robin's gets interrupted a little bit earlier, and I'm just trying to keep track of where each of them are, so I know where they get interrupted. I know they get interrupted in the same places every time, so I just have to keep track of that. Robin gets interrupted over there, which she's about to right now. Yeah. She gets interrupted here. Yeah. Interestingly enough, the Frankie and Usopp just pathed terribly. So they ended up mutually kind
カ
of.
テゴリは持ちなんですよね。
持ちですね。
Yeah, the stage is very difficult. Whitebeard can be like kind of easier.
能力だけ聞いたらこれまた外れっぽい能力ですけど、強いんですよね。
Point to take a territory capturing skill in this just to delete as many enemies as possible.
ロイヤーじゃないけど流体だから、
It's a pretty tough stage.
きつい攻撃を避けれちゃうっていうですね。
Around, making sure various characters don't get interrupted for too long or at all. It's kind of impossible to make it not at all, but
Maybe on a co-op run you could make it not at
yeah.
all.
I have ran this on co-op. This stage on co-op is immeasurably faster. You get to the point where the stage is cleared in like such little time. It's actually like kind of weird. I'm gonna head over here. I believe Frankie gets interrupted around this section again.
フラッキーね。フラッキー意外とでっかくないですよね。
Hawkins anyway. Hawkins runs towards you, whereas X-Strike does not. So we can take this time while we're waiting for Frankie to just go to kind of quickly take out these characters. Unfortunately, they do need to be taken out, even though they look like side objectives.
さあ、ここももう少しかな。
Full force burst, like just some meter. So I will be quickly cleaning up a little bit of them while avoiding. Oh, that box messed with me. Okay, and then they should basically be ready to go. They're already here, so I can ignore the rest of them. I just used a little off time I
White
have.
Jack.
So Jack is the worst collision in the game along with Pika. Pika's
お、ジャックですね。カイドウの幹部の3番手かな。
times here where I'm gonna do my combo and you might see some
像をめちゃくちゃにしたやつですね。
where things look like they should be hitting are just not gonna hit. Okay, cool. That was pretty good. A good time for this stage is like 5:30, so 6 isn't bad. Old world record is like 6:20 something, 6:30. So definitely not a terrible one for how weird the Robin and stuff pathing was. Going to Robin first, definitely faster.
もう少しですね。あと
So this stage we're using Shanks.
2つ
It's
か
a
な。
duplicate of the tutorial
Hmm.
stage in this game, which is kind of funny. They
Yeah.
just kind of chucked it in here for some reason. You do it twice.
No, it was supposed to be like you pick up in media res. That's what they wanted you to do. Feel like you were partway through the story
シャ
and
ン
then
ク
back
ス
to
ですね。
シャンクス。
where the tutorial was.
技、
That's
Yeah.
all.
結局、レイサがほとんど
It
下
is
がってない
pretty
からな
odd,。
今にな
that
って
all the
も
beats。are exactly the same. But you know, not a problem. It's
次
pretty
で終
fun,
わりです
fast
ね。
stage. But it also feels like a tack on because they were like, we don't have a lot of Wano stages. So a lot of the stage is
そんな
exceptional.
技使わないよな、今。そもそもどんな技使うのかもわかんないんだよ。シャン
は
クス。
い。シャンクスの戦闘シーンは一切ないので、
Shanks is a great character in this game. Super cool mechanics. He charges his sword and like his special moves become better. It is a kind of hard to do that consistently without full force burst. And he does have a bug where
腕
he
が
damage in full
ないの
force
と、
while his sword is charged.
まあ、おそらく能力者じゃないの
But
と、
other than that, I don't think
剣を使うぐらいしかヒントがないから、まあ、ゲームとか作るってなると大変ですよね。
まあ、これはまあかっこいいからよ。
you know, relatively fast attack speed, just everything you want in a character, kind of. You're gonna see, I only have to drop it to 30% and then walk away from this attack, and I should have used the time to charge my sword, but it is what it is. This cutscene is unskippable, and it was designed for the tutorial. It's rendered like slightly in game, and it's unfortunately the way it is. The IGT does stop during it, so not too bad. Very powerful character. So Shank's a cool character, a lot of cool moves. Some of his moves are bad, unfortunately. Mainly moves with lightning strike. They don't work
こ
integrate
れ
with
でラストかな。
but overall cool guy.
最後何のいいですね。
We're at
Hi.
the final stage of this game.
こ
We're
こ
gonna
がなかなかもう敵味方オールスターで戦うところになりますね。
Yep. So in this one, we basically have to fight all the big
めちゃくちゃ
pirates,
豪華な
まあ、
メンツが
ラスト
出てきます。
ステージってとこですね。
はい。
animal kingdom pirates, beast pirates.
Yeah, they wanted to just include everything in this stage, kind of standard for.
今使ってるのがシャロットスムージー。
うん
これも DLC のキャラクターになります。
Does Smoothie have smash properties on her dash?
In giant form, yeah.
まあ、でけえな、この人も。本当。
So, Smoothie, along with a couple characters in this game, have really, really powerful properties of hitting through walls and just like huge hitboxes. And so, very, very strong character overall.
このゲームやってると、キャラのサイズ感がやべえ。
also
やばいんだよな、本当。
to enter and
で
exit
かいなぁ。
the form change makes her a giant.
あ、ビッグマムですね。
She gets
マムをまず倒しましょう。
Yeah. She is very good regardless, though. Doesn't get a lot of power or anything from entering this mode, beside it counting like a power type full force burst. But it's exceptional.
別に対してむせいでキャラのでかさがインフレしていくから。
Very strong character anyway, and has a bug on the air version of this in full force burst. The hitbox is like duplicated, so the damage is insane. She has to enter her form change, so that's why she got a little weird there. But yeah, very cool character. One of the more.
That's South Detroit.
Yep. She smashes a lot of targets, and they get flung about when you do it. So you'll see a lot of characters get just chucked away, and then they just end up dead. And so if you're ever curious what happened to that guy, most of the time it's, oh, they got smashed and tapped a wall and died.
Killed them with full force activation. Definitely nice. Alright, after Drake, I think we head west to Jack. Got the docks down there. North to Hawkins. and Kaido's in the Nodos.
この大会議するとねが。
Yeah, good character. I haven't quite calced her full-on speeds while in giant form because it's kind of an anomaly. She doesn't gain sprint speed, so she ends up being like weirdly slow, but like it's the way it seems to affect the game is really odd. Either way though, very good.
Cool to have another water-themed character in addition to Jinbei.
Yeah, and it's sort of sweat-like, but very cool regardless visually. Taking a longer path here on accident.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're going the long way.
Yeah, straight and narrow. It saves like a tad time. In this case, it's losing time, but in that it's straighter on the way up, it's easier to not like run into stuff, I suppose. Less guys in the way. So
これで街道線かな。
he does have a special property on this charge move right here where it breaks guard
街
automatically.
道のイベント戦闘が結構長いですね、確か。
This super is very good. It has a lot of hitboxes to it. So I'm gonna get a Dragon Kaido here. Here, I think I have. It's kind of tricky to know, but I might have enough time to full force burst the first Dragon Kaido fight, and then still have it by near the end. So this section's very laggy. I apologize again. Same kind of problem before. It's gonna destroy my bitrate. They did something with like made the stage load in like this weird visual.
ここまでに出てきた味方入りのキャラがみんな出てきます。
Streaming and etc. It's gonna look bad. I apologize. Okay. I love this mechanic. I'm getting trolled. That's the one huge downside with Smoothie's transformation versus other giants. Is unlike the other giants, which kind of get like a grit built in, where they don't flinch. She doesn't have that, and instead enters an additional stun where she like kneels down.
これも竜の形態の街道が出てくるとこかな。
Yeah. Luckily, these fast dialogue affects the fire pellet trigger time, so it's not as long. So I lost the power here, but I can still use her built-in mechanic to break guard in these
もう
sections.
処理が重いし、
はい。
エフェクトが派手すぎるのかな。
この街道めちゃくちゃ硬いので、結構大変なんですよね。
I'll do this in case it triggers the cutscene. Yeah.
Ah, そうすると終わりですね。これがラストステ
そう
ージ
ですね。これ倒したら。
So again, they want to introduce all these characters doing cool moves on the boss, so they all work together to take out Kaido. So there's a lot of like sequences, cutscene like moves.
サイズ感がウルトラマンなんだよな、これ。カイ
いや
ドウと。
でかい。
And that's
あ、終わりましたね。あれ、タイマーともあるかな。タイムって言いましたね、今ね。
how long that was RTA, but
はい。
あのタイマー
グッドゲーム
止まりま
です
したね。
really okay.
あ、ほぼ EST ぐらいで、時間11分36秒ということで。
Okay. I hit my estimate.
はい、お疲れ様でした。長い時間、
ありがとうございました
ありがとうございました。
10 to 15, so I
Hi.
think you nailed it.
Awesome.
で
Well,
は、
that's
簡
this
単に
game.
最後、感想とか、なんか宣伝事項とかあったら
This game's fantastic.
言っていただい
I
て、
you all
宣伝することもないん
締めていただけた
で、
ら、はい。
myself and Vonk with running
まあ、
this game. Fast Dialog Mod or
探
not,
せ
it's
て
super
ありがとう
awesome.
ございました。
I
あ、
love
いえい
fun in
え、
this game.
こちらこそ
Some of them
助かり
are
ま
short
し
as
た。
like 2 minutes, 1 minute, you know?
あ
So
の、
they're easy to quickly, do a couple runs if you have a busy schedule for a speedrun game. And yeah, it's just a great board. I help manage it. I moderate it. So
じゃあ、
if you ever come in, want to do anything or ask anything, join the Anime Speedruns Discord and feel free to join. Go to Pirate Warriors section. It's also in the speedrun.com page for Pirate Warriors. It'll link you to the Discord Anime Speedruns.
もう
So
眠く
you
な
can
ん
join that.
あ寝るとこに
あ、まあ3
もう
時ですからね。もう
何時ですか、そろそろ寝ましょう。
まあ、見てる方もね、無理せず、途中にも言いましたけどね。
じゃあ、お疲
可
れ
能な
様でし
範囲で、ダ
た。
メならダイジェストでお願いします。この後もね、まあ、まだまだイベント続きますが、はい。
こちらも寝ようぜ。じゃあ、お疲れ様でした。
はい。はい、では、
Go to the next run. It was great having you.
皆さんありがとうございました。
Will you
Nope,
jump out of
you'll
here?
find me at all the same places you'll find him. Thanks for having me, bud. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
Awesome.
はい。まあちょっと画面切り替わるまでまだ時間あるかもしれませんが、私の方も、司会進行ここの時間までとなります。はい。ご視聴ありがとうございました。この後も、お昼頃までね、セーフ続きますので、まあ、時間に余裕のある限りご覧ください。よろしくお願いいたします。はい。では、失礼いたします。
Okay, cool. We're on a next screen. Okay.
はい、司会進行、ここで交代となりまして、ただいまの時間から私、嵐が担当いたします。よろしくお願いいたします。はい、ただいまの時間はですね、Twitter コンテスト&プライズリザルトになっておりまして、まあ、なんか Twitter でのね、なんていうか、なんかプレゼント企画というか、まあ、みたいなのの紹介と、そして、プライズの結果などを公開する時間になるかと思います。で、そちらが終わりましたらですね、ちょっと確認しますね。そちらが終わりましたら、終わった後のタイトルは、ワンピースグランドアドベンチャーというタイトルになっております。で、こちらのワンピースグランドアドベンチャーなんですが、解説の方いらっしゃいません。もし、まあ、わかる方いらっしゃればと言いたいところなんですが、どうやら日本では発売してないタイトルみたいです。もしかしたらね、なんか似たような、全然違う名前で同じゲームが発売されている可能性も否めないのですが、もしかしたらね、わかる方いらっしゃいましたら、ご応募の方お待ちしております。なんか同じようなタイトル自体は出てなくもないみたいなんですが、果たして関連性があるのかは、ちょっとわからないです。 では、準備の方、まだまだね、かかりそう。そうなんですね。そのグランドバトルとどういう関連性があるのか、いまいちわからないですね。こちらとしては。もしかしたらわかる人が見ればわかるタイトルかもしれないので。もし少しでもゲームの方に見覚えがあったら、解説のご応募お待ちしております。で、ここから先しばらくですね、解説の方いらっしゃらないゾーンが続いております。このグランドアドベンチャーの次のタイトルのハンターハンター、龍脈の祭壇も解説の方いらっしゃいませんし、その後のですね、ロボテック、バトルくらいかな。こちらも解説の方いらっしゃいません。でもしね、ちょっとでも原作の方もわかるよっていう方いらっしゃれば、ご応募でぜひぜひお待ちしております。そうですね、月曜日なのでね、難しいとかね、ありますが、まあね、どうしてもね、時間がね、ありますからね。ご無理のない程度にお待ちしております。
Your stream though, because you need to have the race layout.
おそらく、先ほどツイッターやらプライズやらの紹介が入るのかな。もう少々お待ちください。しかし、いろいろあった3日間も、もう数時間で終わってしまいますね。皆様楽しんでいただけましたか？なんかね、締めの挨拶みたいな感じで言ってますけど、まだまだ続いておきますのでね、ぜひ無理のない範囲で見ていってくださいませ。どうしてもね、見れなかったタイトルなどありましたらね、アーカイブの方もご覧ください。まだ準備、時間かかりそうですかね。ではですね、改めて今回行われているイベントの説明の方をさせてください。現在、ジャパニーズリストリームでは、アニメスピードランズフェスティバルの様子を公認で日本語ミラー配信しております。アニメスピードランズフェスティバルは、スピードゲーミングの Twitch チャンネルで、配信されている RTA イベントになっております。今回のイベントの寄付先である、ワールドセントラルキッチンは、様々な事情で被災した人々に食料支援を行ったり、調理器具や調理方法の提供、生産者への支援など、食べ物でコミュニティの回復を図っている団体となっております。今回のイベント、アニメスピードランズフェスティバルはですね、14日の朝から16日、今日ですね、今日のお昼頃まで24時間昼夜問わず開催されております。ぜひ無理のない範囲で最後までお楽しみくださいませ。一応スケジュールの方にチャットの方に流しときますね。でですね。で、ですね。ナイトボットくんがもう一つ流してくれた、ディスコードのチャンネルのリンクなんですが、ディスコードではですね、文言にも書かれてます通り、解説をしたい人の向けのね、応募フォームや、皆様がね、制作されたクリップをたくさん貼ろうというね、チャンネルなどがご用意されております。で、もしよろしければですね、ディスコードの方の参加もお待ちしております。特にですね、クリップの方はね、もしかしたら、 もしかしたらですけど、このね、ジャパニーズリストリームのエンディングの方で使用されるかもしれません。あとね、ここから後見返して、こんなタイトルあったなとか、こんなすごい技あったんだって見返すのもね、また一興となっておりますので、皆様のね、クリップのご投稿お待ちしております。ですね。ちょうどアーカイブの話題があったので、今流してくれた、過去のイベントの配信、イベントのアーカイブがまとまっているサイトはこちらとなっております。まだですね、アニメスピードランスフェスティバルのページはまだできてませんが、そうですね、先日行われたミッドスプリングスピードフィリングまでのイベントの、アーカイブはすべて、まとまっておりますね。ミッドスプリングスピードフィリングじゃないや。ドンキーコングカントリー2 2% トーナメントですね。そちらのまでのアーカイブがすべてまとまっております。すべてはちょっと言い過ぎですね。すごい古いイベントの方だとちょっとまとまってないかもしれません。大体のイベントはこちらの方でね、まとまっておりますので、ぜひ確認の方をお願いします。お暇であれば確認の方をお待ちしております。お待ちしておりますね。変だな。確認していただけたらなと思います。まだ時間かかりそうですね。ワンピース大丈夫ですかね。ちょっとね、自分は、ワンピースというか、そもそもアニメの知識があまりないので、ちょっとね、司会するのがとても不安になっております。なのでね、皆さんね、解説のご応募お待ちしております。好きなね、アニメはね、あるんですけどね、だいたいゲームにならないので、こういうイベントには縁がないんですね。3話まで見ていただく。なるほど。でもちょっと諸事情で、今は、ちょっとアニメを見る元気がないので、また別の機会でお願いいたします。すいません。強いてね、喋れるのはね、ドラゴンボールくらいなので、今後のタイトル若干不安ですが、ね、大丈夫だと信じて、深夜ですし、ゆるりと、皆様とね、これなのかなみたいな話をしながら、司会できたらなと思います。そうですね。ワンピース、大丈夫かな。もう僕の中だとね、腕が伸びるっていう印象くらいしか。あとなんかね、剣2つ持って1つ口で加えてる方がいるとか、さすがにキャラ名はわかりますけど、それくらいの知識しかないですね。どういう冒険して、どういう敵と戦ったのか、あんまわからない。なんか砂になる人がいた気がするんですけど、どうだったかな。そうですね。多分クロコダイルさんのことですね。ありがとうございます。いや、全然分かってないですよ。なんか昔、なんか土曜プレミアムみたいな名前の番組で、チョッパーでしたっけが仲間になるところの映画を軽く見た記憶が一番強いっすね。 どういう展開だったのか全く思い出せないですが。いやーね。すごい昔は見てたんですけどね、ワンピースというか。朝、9時ぐらいのね、アニメのあたりを見てたんですが、日朝の時間がね、ずれてしまったのでね、見れなくなっちゃったんですよね。
Change the game category.
I was hype.
But
ただ
yeah,
ま
it
だね、
was
時間
happy with
か
it.
かっ
Luckily,
てい
his
る
scan
ようです。
is
もう少々お
super
待ちください。
informative. He learned enough from me and himself. I could just be like, take it over, K-Scan. I need to use my brain.
Yep.
いやー、どうですかね。
Vonks
本
would
当
have been
に
way funnier.
どういう仲間がいてっていうくらいしか知識がないですよ。技名もあんまわかんないですからね。
Fog.
ピストルくらいしか。
Extreme
I was like, am I hearing
gamers.
things?
なんかギガントなんちゃらみたいなのはありましたっけ？本当におぼろげな。
Ba-dum.
Good luck.
I was
ド
gonna
ラ
move
ゴン
my
ボールだ
seat
ったら
up
ま
a
だ
little bit.
技出るんですけどね。ヘルズフラッシュとか。
Yep.
There's the you know.
ヘルズフラッシュだっけ？合ってるか？本当か？ダメだ、ドラゴンボールすら心配になってきた。ダメですね。
I call him a chemo.
I won't lie.
We are
When I woke
still
up,
on stream,
You're,
but
you are still on stream. I just turned you on it. I made a mistake. That's all.
hey,
Oh,
no
good.
worries.
I won't lie. I woke up at like, I don't know, like 3-ish a.m. Somewhere in that ballpark, and
そう、16号の技です。わかんないです。
Quite a bit.
I was.
あ、ワンピースは技名そこまで重要じゃない。そうなんですか。
I think Luffy's the run. Like,
でも
it seems pretty
ドラゴンボール
clear.
も大概重要じゃない気もするけれど。